or 303 Martino, 303-627-8466. Here's the good part. You can call 24/7 that number, and we will call you back and get you on the show. So what's going on in the world of consumer news? Well, let's talk about that. We have 401ks now because of this executive order from the president. It was actually signed last year, but now is getting traction because in just the other day, basically, the Department of Labor issued a landmark proposed rule to officially implement changes of the executive order. So Trump signed an executive order saying, you know what? We need to open up alternative investments and assets to investors in their 401ks. 401ks, by the way, are usually administered through a trustee or a director, and they have a universe of investments, and you select from that universe for your 401k. If you wanted to ever use that money to be self-directed, here's how it would be done. Because we, by the way, at Martino Capital, this is one of the things we specialize in and we help people with. And let me explain how it works. If you have a 401k and you want to invest it in something other than the normal stocks and bonds, you want to do something creative with it, you have to have a self-directed IRA. Well, if it's in a 401k, how does it become a self-directed IRA? Well, you have to convert some of it to an IRA. Let me explain this to you. It's really simple. In order to do it, you have to have a 401k that allows in-service distributions. What does that mean? What it means is this. If you have a 401k where you have amassed a lot of money, let's say you want to take some of that money and you want to buy an annuity. Or let's say you want to take some of that money and open an IRA. Why would you do that? Well, you would buy an annuity because you have accumulated it in a 401k and you don't want to just draw it down someday. So you want to take that lump sum, and instead of having it invested, you want to put it in an annuity, and you're getting up there in age, okay? That would be one reason. That's an in-service distribution. You're not taxed on it, and there's no penalty. You can also do an in-service distribution where you take some of that money from your 401k and you put it into an IRA. Now, remember, an in-service distribution does not mean you can take that money and just use it willy-nilly. You can't. You'll be penalized, plus you pay income tax, all right? You can't just take the money. But with an in-service distribution, you can make a qualified transfer, either to an annuity or to another retirement plan like an IRA. So what we have done with some investors at Martino Capital is take their in-service distribution from a 401k, and we've put it with a trustee for an IRA that allows alternative investments. And then you can buy things with it. And as long as that trustee is in charge and it's an arm's length transaction, in other words, you couldn't buy a classic car, wink, wink, for your son or daughter, or buy a Lamborghini and claim it's an investment. Okay, it has to be an investment that you do not control. So you can't have a rental, but you can have an LLC that owns a rental. There are ways to do alternative investments. But anyway, the Department of Labor says, guess what? Because of the president, you don't even have to go through all that anymore. For some investments, all you have to do is invest. Now, your 401k still has to allow it. So if you have a 401 plan 401k plan administered by a very conservative trustee who doesn't allow these alternative investments, they'll never be presented to you. So that is the secret. You have to have an employer that has a pretty advanced, I think they call them trustees, I call them trustees, of the 401k plan. And then you have to have the investments available to you. By the way, as part of our deal at Martino Capital, when you come on with us, we help you with your 401k. So we help you with every dime you have, even if it's not housed or warehoused with us or custody. Even if we're not the custodian of that or we don't put it in a Schwab account, we still can help you manage it. That's part of our service to you. In any case, let me explain something. The expansion of investment choices would include gold.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know about that, Dimitri, right?
Sure do.
Do you have qualified money in gold?
Yeah, I think almost all of it is in gold, electronic gold, like
now,
gold ETFs.
One thing that people say, why would you do qualified money in gold? Because you don't pay on the increase in value anyway. Having gold is almost a retirement plan in and of itself, because if you think about qualified money grows tax deferred. So does gold.
Mm-hmm.
Gold is tax deferred. You're not going to pay any tax on it until you sell it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The only benefit to qualified money is usually the deductibility going in.
Mm-hmm.
So did you have deductibility going in? Did you do it with a self-directed IRA?
Yeah, it was a 401k left over from a former employer.
Which I said, you rolled it over
into an IRA. Now, Tom, could I have done that? Could I have rolled it over without leaving that employer? In other words, if I still work
if they allow an in-service distribution,
you can. That's what that means.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, my chief investment officer from Martino Capital happens to be here, but that's correct, right? We can do that. An in-service distribution. But now, with this new executive order and the Department of Labor saying you don't have to do that anymore, we're going to allow some alternative investments right inside the 401k. So, but we help you with your 401ks, even if you have one. We can also help you do an in-service distribution. We can help you with metals. We can help you with real estate. We can help you with anything you want to do with it. That's part of our service. But in any case, what are some of the alternative stuff you can buy? Well, private equity.
Oh.
Holy crap. Now you say, because that could be a nightmare, but that could be a game changer. I'll give you an example. I don't want to get too far into it, but I have friends whose companies have been taken over by private equity.
Mm-hmm.
Now they maintain the way private equity usually works. They go in and they take over ABC company, XYZ company. Okay. This company, they usually retain the owner. The owner now owns a percentage of that company and makes it grow and gets paid in addition to the purchase price. Of course, they just paid. They give bonuses for growth. So they manage it for the private equity company. And the private equity company is private equity. So now you can be part of a private equity fund. Now you rolled your eyes, D, because it is high risk, right? It is. But with qualified money, if you get the right private equity group and you're growing tax deferred, you're going to make a lot of money if you choose the private equity properly.
If you choose the correct private equity group, but look at how many of them just run their targets right into the ground. They mortgage them to the hilt.
Absolutely.
They load them with debt. They siphon every penny they can and can't. And then the company goes into bankruptcy and it's done.
By the way, I want you to give me a call at 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. If you have any questions, problems, or complaints, we got a lot to talk about today. But one of the things I want to talk about is investing, because that's a passion of mine. That's why I started Martino Capital. But it's really about the truth in investing now. Now that alternative investments are open to 401k, there will be a lot of scams. So be careful. Remember, you don't have to take the money out of a 401k to make some of these alternative investments, so long as your company allows it. You may go to your company now that you've heard about this and say, I want to buy some gold, or I want to buy some real estate or this. And they may say, no, you have to buy these stocks or bonds. They're still allowed to limit your investing, okay? So it depends on who's administering the plan. So your employer has to have the right kind of 401k plan for you to do this. But even if they don't, if in-service distributions are allowed, you can take lump sums and invest them on your own. And it will still be qualified money if you do it through a self-directed trustee. Okay, so if you have any questions, I don't want to get too far into the weeds on this, but if you have any questions on this or investing in general, give us a call. And any problem, question, or complaint, especially with Brad O'Brien Legal Services. He's a real estate attorney. Brad, but just out of curiosity, have you ever done a REIT? Have you ever put together a real estate investment trust, or done any REIT work?
No, typically much larger law firms get involved in REITs.
So you're mainly for transactions, person to person, company to person.
As a solo real estate practitioner, my deals currently are much smaller.
What is in other words, what is your wheelhouse? What do you like doing?
I do residential buying and selling, single family homes, apartments of, up to 6 units. Also small commercial investors that might have 1 to 6 investment properties.
You help landlords a lot right now.
Smaller investors, not institutional types.
I understand
that might do REITs. Yeah.
Okay, we got more coming up. So if you have any real estate questions as well, a very busy day in consumer news, and I want to ferret it all out for you. So welcome. And I'm sorry to my YouTubers, my morons. I got started late on the feed, but I think we're all there now. So thank you for being here. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. This hour brought to you by waterpros.net. You heard me talk about water. I'm passionate about it because water is crap right now. Get a system. No matter what system you get, they have the best at the lowest prices. Waterpros.net.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll go to Mark.
Colorado found your lost money, and the Department of the Treasury wants to help you put it to good use. Through the Great Colorado Payback, you can...
Oh, I thought...
No.
You know typing?
Just tell me what it is.
Say it.
All right.
Gotta ask.
Let's talk to Marc Mager.
Sorry, he didn't know. Okay, sorry, he didn't know. Hang on. You want us to find out? Hang on. Don't go anywhere, for the love of God.
To you by the Colorado Department of the Treasury and the Colorado Broadcasters Association.
Oil isn't the only resource hit hard by global events.
That's okay, and I didn't know he didn't know.
Fertilizer prices at planting season. Will this disrupt our food supply? Raising prices? Cause shortages? I'm not waiting to find out, and neither should you. Go to mypatriotsupply.com, get a 3-month emergency food supply. They'll include $200 worth of extra survival protein.
Adam's typing a little thing.
After serving more than 3 million Americans.
Windows is okay.
Thank you.
You can trust mypatriotsupply.com. Go to mypatriotsupply.com.
Marc Szymanski is the owner, I should say, Mark and Madeline, his wife, GenesisTotalExteriors.com. Fine people, a great company. The name Genesis means from the beginning, and they do it all. Now, I've known Mark for many, many years on my referral list at referralist.com. Now, they do basements, they do kitchens, they do baths, they do painting, they do decks, they do, just about everything. Roofing, gutter, siding. Let's talk about some really important stuff, the windows and siding. Mark, what's trending with windows and siding these days?
Well, I tell you, Tom, one of the biggest questions I get asked all the time is, I only have enough money to do one or the other. Should I do windows first or should I do siding first? And truthfully, the best way is to do them both at the same time, because that's the way you get your house waterproof and tight, and so you don't have any water infiltration in the house. But if you only have money for one or the other, I always push for windows first, because then you can build your siding around that and make sure the windows are watertight. You know, a lot of companies out there, they'll do what's called retrofit windows, which I dislike immensely. What happens is that window gets a retrofit window is a smaller window put inside the opening of your old window. That means your old window material is still there, the frame and such, and just gets cut out, and you slide it in there. You don't get a great weather-tight feel or seal, and you could get leaks in that. It's just not a great way to replace your windows.
What a great idea. When you're doing them both, then they fit like a glove. And what options do you have with siding now that you like?
I tell you, well, now with the new WUI fire codes and everything, metal, everybody's asking about metal siding. We have several different lines of metal siding. Of course, you have the cement fiberboard siding. There's a couple manufacturers out do that. And LP Smart Side, my favorite product, is going to have a fire WUI product at the end of the year. So you just got to wait a little while for that one. But there's a lot of great options out there for siding and windows.
And and he'll walk the property with you and make recommendations. GenesisTotalExteriors.com, 303-679-8509, 303-679-8509. Now let's talk about real estate again, and this time becoming a landlord. Now, becoming a landlord in Colorado is a pain in the ass. I'm just going to say that, right? But you have other markets where it's not so bad. In fact, it favors landlords. The equity growth potential is out there. The rents are strong. The economies are strong. And Vestera Turnkey finds those markets, and they help you buy property there. They help you any way they can to make that a smooth experience. They even help you manage, collect rents, maintenance, insurance, everything. Vestera Turnkey, find out about their program, 303-888-3788, or go to this website, mybiggestrureturn.com.
Wonderful. Thank you.
All right. All right.
We don't have a single deputy in the building. It's kind of nice.
Bo is coming, he said.
Oh, shoot. I was hoping we would be able to save on Lysol today, but all right.
Get your quote at ethos.com/turn. That's ethos.com/turn.
We're on YouTube now, right? We're on now. Yeah. I just checked. I was late when I got here. The music was on. I hadn't started streaming yet. Oh boy. I know. He only come if I have room.
Troubleshooter Show. Can I get a first name? Awesome. And in the sense of less, what can we help you out with?
This report is sponsored by the Our American Stories podcast.
Okay.
Listen to Red Pilled America on the iHeartRadio app. That's Red Pilled America, a storytelling show.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-8255. I do have a few texts from about real estate that I put aside for Brad O'Brien we'll get to, but somebody also texted me about the 401k thing I'm talking about. And if you have any questions on investing or anything, of course, you can always text me here. And people are texting. Again, I want you to call 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466 or 303-713-TALK. Look, at the sign at the Times is more people text me now than call. I mean, that's just the way it is. My texts are exploding. I think people are just hit and get, they want to hit and get. Fernando, though, you're on the line. Go ahead, Fernando. What's going on with you?
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good, Fernando. How can we help you?
I called you a couple of days ago. Unfortunately, I couldn't get hold of you or you guys back, but I was wondering if I bought a car 6 months ago on an auction. So they sell it to me, and I went to pick it up. The place is called First Class Towing.
Now wait a minute. It was an auction. It was an auction.
Yeah, that was an auction. You download the app, and then you go And when you bid, you get it, and then they tell you, well, this car belongs to this company. So I went to pick it up first.
But hold on, am I correct? It's an app where you made bids on it. You had to win the bid. It was an auction like eBay.
Yeah, that's correct. It's called Peak Auto Action.
Okay. Peak Auto Auction. Okay. And you went to get the car, but you did not get the title?
No. I did get the title, but unfortunately, I lost it. And then last week, I went over there and talked to the guy. Hey, look, I lost the title. I cannot find it. I will need a duplicate. Can you help me out with that? And then he stayed quiet for few seconds. He's like, no, I cannot help you on that. Sorry, you lost it. I said, well, what are we gonna do? And he's like, oh, it's not much I can do for you. It's Friday. Let me talk to the DMV. If I can reach him out, then I'll give you a call.
Fernando, let me ask you a couple questions, okay? Do you have a bill of sale?
No, they just give me the title and the receipt with the itemized paperwork that they did.
Well, hold on. So that could be. Hold on. The itemized paperwork. Is it a bill of sale? Does it say the price and what you paid?
Yeah, he called it a receipt. No. But on the application, on the app, it comes.
Okay.
Who buy it? Where
Fernando,
to buy? Where do you buy it? And the amount.
Fernando, I need a simple yes or no.
Yes.
Do you have a receipt from the place you bought the car? A receipt?
Yes, on the application.
Okay, when you say on the application, is it a piece of paper or is it on your phone?
It's on my phone. It's printed on my phone. You open the app and it says the VIN number of the car, the amount that you pay for it.
Can you print out that bill of sale? Can you print it out?
Well, the thing is,
Fernando, I'm going to help you. Fernando, I'm going to help you if you simply let me help you. I promise you, at the end of this, we can help you. Can you print out the receipt that's on your phone? Can you print it out?
Yes, I can print it out.
Good. Excellent. Now, do you have proof? That's proof of payment and purchase. Do you have a VIN number anywhere? A VIN number?
Yes, on the application, everything comes.
Excellent. Now, we're going to get somebody on the phone and we're going to walk you through this. You're the owner of that car. The previous owner really can't do much for you, but they did sign it over to you, but you lost it, right? So you don't have proof that they signed it over to you, but they're not going to protest it. Hold on a second, Fernando. I'm going to get somebody from JFR Cars. Hey, Axe, let's call Rodney or Bob over at JFR Cars for some advice. Just tell them we need some general advice and get them on the line here. Fernando, if you hang on, I'll have the steps because we had this happen before and we helped people. We had this exact situation where someone bought a car and lost the title. Again, the previous owner could apply for a lost title. Technically, they could. And then sign it over to you again. But you can't make them if they don't want to. So hang on, and we'll come back to you. Let's get JFR Cars on. By the way, Compass Insurance Group will do an insurance checkup for you to make sure you're not paying too much for your insurance, you're not undercovered, or you have unnecessary insurance. It's a free insurance checkup. They're honest people and will tell you the truth. 303-996-9000.
Thank you. How about we do a short Joe Lazzara?
Got it.
Is Denver's talk station with Tom Martino now. Dan Kaplis today at 4, 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
Yeah, pretty good ride out here right now. Southbound 25 coming into downtown's a little sluggish from I-70 through Spear. We do have that construction zone on Santa Fe southbound at Mississippi that is backed up to I-25, and down on Parker Road northbound right at Quincy. We've got jamming there that's going to cost you a few extra minutes, but most freeways wide open. US 6 west of Golden Tunnel 1 area. They're doing some construction. Well, they have been for a couple of years, actually, and we're still looking at delays there both directions. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
This report is sponsored by Brad vs. Everyone podcast.
Dangerous social media trends, media scandals, dumb TikTok boycotts, and more. Keep up with all the online stories mainstream media ignores by listening to the Brad vs. Everyone podcast on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, I want to make sure if you're charged with a crime or a traffic offense or any other thing and you need help, Joe Lazara gives you free legal advice up front, and then he will quote a flat rate for your entire case if you want to hire him. No obligation. 303-429-6200, lazaralegal.com.
Cute. 4.5 if you got to go run around.
Okay, thanks.
Because he spends tens of thousands of dollars generating demand. And right now, he has hundreds of approved home buyers ready to buy. He just doesn't have enough houses. So if you have a house...
My next improvement's going to be, I'm going to wire a little switch that we plug into.
I thought maybe it'd be your
So it
height.
goes from here to a switch to here. Then I can leave those on. And
Turn it off here.
Then you can turn it on, turn it off. Because otherwise, but if you do this, I'll turn it on like that. As soon as you do that.
Do you still want this below me?
Well, for the camera, it's always better.
Let's do this.
Yeah,
This is Adam
but
again,
it's
just
really
real
up
quick
to
kinda
you.
like it, 'cause I don't like looking
for the number that we give out when we shout you out at the end is the
as long as it
8045 number the good number,
we
or is
don't-
it the
yeah.
6839?
You know, it's kind of good. Yeah.
683.
Whatever. That's good. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, and it's not in the way of me looking at
Yeah.
you. New clock is working great.
I know it.
Brad, that's connected to some satellites. So the Chinese are listening into what we're doing in here. They might be looking too. Who knows what's in that thing? What kind of spyware? It might be reading your screen.
Is it Joe Biden Day?
What?
Call QC Kinetics 303-900-8986. That's 303-900-8986. 303-900-8986.
We've been here 30 years, 30 Christmases in this house, and we have the traditions that most families have.
That's Terry talking about her experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We did a Rhino Shield 14 years ago, and the house still looks the same as the first day. Rhino Shield really worked with me to help me get just the right nice soft yellow. And
Do you know, Monty, you don't have anything to say except that you hate Trump. I swear to God. You have no game. All he's never told me one thing what he stands for. Only he hates Trump, hates Trump, hates Trump. What are all these people going to do when he's no longer around?
Oh,
They don't have a policy or a platform.
They're gonna die of ennui because they'll have nothing to do, nothing to think about.
there have been neighbors that have come by and said, "Did you just have your house painted?" They wanted to know who the contractor was. And I said, "No, it's actually Rhino Shield."
For your 15% off, call now. 844-31-RHINO.
And Tom, and I do have a question for Brad whenever there's a lull in the action.
Okay.
Many financial advisors rely on target-based funds, which are one-size-fits-all portfolios that represent your name, your family, or your goals. And that passive management can leave you dangerously exposed. At Trajan, we look at the whole picture, not just the stocks everyone else buys, but the private market opportunities most advisors ignore. And as fiduciaries, we build a strategy around you, coordinating your investments, tax strategy, and estate into one cohesive plan. Your financial life deserves more than just a generic portfolio. Real planning isn't a static statement. It's the confidence of knowing where your income will come from for the next 30 years. Good enough isn't good enough for your family. It's time for a change. Schedule your complimentary consultation today. Call Trajan today at 720-915-3000. That's 720-915-3000.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor. Private equity investments require authentication. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Bank. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Hi, Dan Cicchini with Dunright. Great pricing options and bank financing? You bet. Kitchen, baths, counters, and floors. basements, runners, and doors. Done right since 1980. To have our work refrigerated done right, visit drhi.com. Thanks. Your hair is thinning, brown is disappearing. Hair loss is like losing part of your identity. Thankfully, advanced hair...
Does anybody want a coffee refill while I'm upstairs?
Sure. I have the cream in that. In that little cup, I have some half of it.
But look out, it's been sitting out, D, so it has a layer of amoeba on it or something.
Yeah, that makes it healthier.
iWeigh.com.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Fernando bought a car, Rodney. Rod is from JFR Cars, one of the people on our referral list. Hey, Rod, Fernando bought a car. The guy signed the title over to him. He bought it on an app which has a receipt on there. So the receipt shows what he paid for it, showed that he paid in full, and has a VIN number. But he lost the title work where the guy had signed the title over to him. He lost it. He went back to them and said, hey, can you apply for a lost title and sign it over to me again? And they said no. And I don't think he can make them do it. But Rod, if he has a bill of sale and a VIN number, can't he apply for a lost title? Isn't it in essence a lost title?
It is a lost title, but as long as he has that bill of sale, he doesn't obviously they like to have a registration, but obviously he hasn't gotten that far yet.
Right.
But and tell them the story about the owner refuses to help him out. But as long as he has the receipt, right?
Yeah. He can print it out from the app.
Okay.
The reason I say it's on an app, it was like an auction, and he won it, and he bought it. He went over and picked it up from the company that owns the car. They sold it on the auction. The auction generated a receipt, which is on his phone, and he says he can print it out.
Yeah, I would go that route.
Yes,
if
go
nothing
ahead.
else, the
Go
motor
ahead,
vehicle
Fernando.
will tell the exact.
Sorry, I didn't finish my whole story.
Go ahead. All right.
He texted me when I left the towing company. He texted me right away, like 10 minutes later, and he told me, "Oh, I just hang out with the lady from the DMV. She say we can provide you a duplicate of it. It's gonna be $200 for it." And I didn't say anything. I didn't reply to him. So it was the weekend. So Sunday night, my wife and I, we were looking through our stuff everywhere because there's too much money, and we found it. So Monday morning, I called him. He didn't answer, and then I went straight to the DMV, and I said, look, I have a title right here. Can we register the car? And then she do the whole processing, and then she give me a letter, and she's like, oh, no, this is a transaction rejected because the other guy, the previous owner, he just requests a copy of it. So I texted him and I told him, hey, am I able to go pick it up? And he's like, yeah, it's going to be $200. But the lady prints a paper for me, and they say on the letter, there is more recent title available. Please reach out to the seller to request the recent title. If he's unable to locate the most recent title, they can request a duplicate with us for $8.20. So,
okay, Fernando.
all I want to know if it's...
Okay, thank you very much, Fernando. And I apologize that you didn't get that full story out because it does change things. And Rod, I want you to chime in if I tell him anything wrong. But here's the bottom line, Fernando. I understand exactly what you're saying now, but here's what happened. When that guy talked to DMV and he got a duplicate title, he got a copy, and now he wants to charge you to sign it over to you. Unfortunately, he has a right to do that. I mean, he really does. Now, is it fair? No. Is it stupid? Yes. Is it? I think it's Bush League, but he has a right to say to you, you know what? it's not my problem. I am going to charge you for this. And I don't know what to tell you, Fernando. I mean, Rod, do you think the guy's doing anything illegal? He sold his car. Fernando lost the title. He found it, but now he can't get it. He can't get it registered because the other guy had already asked for a duplicate. You understand this, Rod? Do you think? I think the seller is being a jerk, but do you think there's anything illegal about it?
Are we talking the auction? Or are we talking an individual who got the title? Got a duplicate title.
The way I understand it, it's sold on an app through an auction, but the owner retains it and then signs it over to the buyer. So he's not dealing with an auction house right now. He's dealing with the individual owner.
With the owner. Okay. So yeah, you're kind of stuck in playing his game.
Yes, that's
and basically,
right.
If he's done the work, and he's saying, okay, I did the work, I got the duplicate, I went down there and got whatever, and he's saying, if you want it, you're going to have to give up the $200, but maybe you can negotiate. Your life would be so much easier if you just.
Let's put it this way. I don't know how you're going to do it otherwise. Without his cooperation, it will be a lawsuit. Literally, you'd have to bring a lawsuit. You'd have to take the bill of sale and sue the guy for the title. And that's going to cost you way more than $200. Fernando, I know you didn't want to hear this, but I don't know. I don't think we can do anything. I think the guy has a right. Now, if you want, we can call the guy and try to negotiate for you. If you want us to, we can try to call him. You know, Dee said he'll call over. Let me ask you this, Fernando. Was the guy being a jerk about it?
No, I just couldn't reach out to him. When I texted him, he didn't even answer back. So I went to the towing company where they told me the title was going to be on Parker, and I talked to his dad, and he's like, "Oh yeah, the title is here. You can pay me the money right now." So I just pay for it. I know it's not much you guys can do, but I really
Fernando,
want
we can call there. We can call there. We won't say anything like accusatory. If we call there, we'll be friendly and see if we can negotiate something for you. Now, let me ask you, what did you pay for the car?
For the car, I paid $950.
Gosh, that's going to take the deal right away. That's you have to pay an extra percentage. That's a big percentage of the car. Yeah. What were you going to say, Dee?
Tom, I think I know why it was so affordable. I've been reading Peak Auto Auctions website while you guys were talking, and they specialize in selling cars not for individuals, but these are abandoned cars. These are also cars that towing company get title to, and they're also excess inventory from dealers, which tells me junk that they can't sell. Right? Well, beyond wholesale. This is whatever's below wholesale.
Yeah.
So these are, from what I've seen, these appear to be junky cars. That's why it's $900.
By the way, what did $900 buy you, Fernando? I'm curious. What kind of car? How many miles?
It was a 2006 Subaru Legacy. It was in great shape. It just need a couple things on the engine. They're already been done.
Okay.
Car works perfectly. It all depends. They have junk cars and they have really good deals.
Yeah.
But all I wanted, it was an advice.
Ask if he have a copy of the title.
He does. He has a copy of the one that was signed over to him, but the DMV won't do it because they showed that the title, there was a more recent title than that one.
Oh, well,
he hung up. I know he doesn't want to hear what we're saying, but anyway, Rod, thank you very much. JFRcars.com. They're over at 303-520-63 or 6839. That's 520-6839. Sorry we couldn't help him, but what were you going to say, Dee? What were you going to say?
I think that, my plan was to get a copy of this receipt that Fernando has, so I can call Peak Auto Auctions.
Call the auction
Yeah,
and see if they can do something. Yeah, they might be able to pressure them.
Presumably, this towing company wants to sell more of their cars through Peak Auto Auctions, so Peak will have some leverage over there.
You know, Fernando, if you give us a chance, we can try to call and see what we can do for you. Figure it out. I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK. By the way, if you want a beautiful walk-in shower with Italian porcelain built in 2 or 3 days and have 1 year to pay with no interest, renewhomeinnovations.com, 303-904-2000.
Thank you. I haven't been writing anything today.
Just tell me what it is.
Excel.
Thanks.
Traffic.
Still looking.
Everybody has to tell you a story first. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Problems and volume extremely.
In the village I was born, Tom, I was carried into it.
Downtown in the tech center is 10 minutes. 225 is a 10-minute commute out of Aurora, both directions, in Pena, about 15 minutes from I-70 to the terminal. Parker and Quincy, still some construction.
And then the neighborhood witch lady, she said, I will buy a car one day, and I
think I'm Jonathan Steele.
This report is sponsored by Brad vs. Everyone podcast.
Dangerous social media trends, media scandals, dumb TikTok boycotts, and more. Keep up with all the online stories mainstream media ignores by listening to the Brad vs. Everyone podcast on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Excel Roofing, the wonderful roofer, the original roofer at referralist.com, the one who's done roofs for me, the one where you don't pay a cent until you're content. Excel Roofing, E-X-C-E-L, Excel as in excellent, excelroofing.com, now doing, of course, they've always done roofing repairs and gutters, but now attic ventilation experts to keep your home cool in the summer and your home warm in the winter. Also, windows, siding, doors, and painting. Yes, complete home services. excelroofing.com, 303-761-6400.
You're so nice.
Thanks. Let me get to these real estate.
Well, no Bo, by the way.
He's there. He's going to be there. He was on his way.
He says he's not, so I turned out the lights. If I have to, I'll lock the door. He didn't show up. He called and said he wasn't going to help today.
Oh, okay. Was he pissed?
No.
I have a hard time reading that in people I don't care about. I hope he's listening. Jerk.
Oh, he is.
Good.
I have some interesting texts here for Brad O'Brien, the real estate man. No, not the real. Yeah, it's Frank Duran, the real estate man. Brad O'Brien, the real estate law guy. No, that doesn't rhyme. JR, you're right. He just texted me. He's right. JR, you're right.
Don't.
Okay, did you want to jump on the show and give a quick comment? No? Okay. No. I'm the call screener.
I'd say, hey, you're a valuable part of the show. Please.
Almost sounds like you mean it. What are you practicing for?
Hey, Martino, if the auction house finds out this guy is scamming the customer, they will not allow. You know, they're right about that. In fact,
Bye.
Fernando, you should call us back, bro.
No mas.
You know, JR ought to be a deputy, because I think he's got some fight in him.
What's this guy's name?
Don't start courting that ugliness.
Huh.
What's up?
That studio's empty. Excellent.
It's emptier than a supermodel's head.
That's pretty empty.
It's all yours.
That's a pretty good one. I'll remember that one.
How you doing?
I can't. Anything you want. I'm gonna get those flickering lights replaced.
No.
I'm back on.
Yes, I like the Guantanamo Bay vibe that it gives when somebody's in there.
Epilepsy crowd, you know.
Hey,
Epilepsy, they're onto it.
listen, we're on the
radio.
Yeah, but the balcony's right there. It's easy to get him down to the ambulance. I don't mind.
I hope I don't lose a lot of weight, but I have to really clean up with all this sugar.
Oh, that's right.
The
Sure.
last thing I need are a bunch of sugars.
It's like when I was I worked at a photo lab for a long time, and if we dropped the film, we'd always say, "Oh my God, they're going to be out of focus."
I've never been out of ketosis. I saw you had emailed us. I just read it. Was wondering if you wanted to come on and see if
has
Tom could
never
help
done
you
that
out.
to me. Milkwood.
What about the Archburger?
Well,
is it Archburger Day?
Yeah, we're going to do Archburger.
Yay.
No, I know. See, I think you're way more keto than I am. Because you know what? Like I'll do low sugar or no the unsweetened ketchup. I'll do condiments. I do some condiments. Now I don't overload them, but I do them. So you don't even do trace carbs, and that's where I think I was a little different. I was always in ketosis though. I always remained in ketosis. So I figured if I'm in ketosis, here's what I'd love to know. If you're in ketosis, is there a better level of ketosis because you're more strict than I am? I'm wondering.
Nice.
Yes.
Here you go.
I don't. Maybe I'll feel better. Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. Brad O'Brien Legal Services. I'll get to in a sec. I do have your text. I know you texted me, and we'll get to them. Tom, though, every time I get a caller, I got to get him first. Tom, welcome to the show. What's going on with the nursing home?
Hey, Tom, here's the thing. My mother was in a car accident. She was killed in Pueblo.
Oh, my God. When did that happen, Tom?
Happened the 5th of March. Now her boyfriend is 93 years old. He was with her.
Oh.
He survived. Okay. She was his primary caregiver, the partner, the whole thing. What happened was they took from the hospital, they took him to a rehab facility. I can't access any of his financials. I don't know who can take care of him. I tried to take him to the bank with a social worker to access funds. The bank completely said, nope, we're protecting our members. We're not going to give you any money. The nursing home I went and visited yesterday was appalling. It is worse than I wouldn't take my dog there. That's how bad it is.
Oh.
I couldn't believe it.
Oh.
And this guy did everything right. He paid off his house. He has money in the bank, and he needs help.
Okay, Tom.
That's
Tom.
it.
This guy. You're so kind to care about this man. How long was he with your mom? Out of curiosity.
10 years. He was my next door neighbor. His wife passed away. I moved my mom from Denver to Pueblo because it's a decent place to retire, believe it or not. and they met. And they hit it off, and then they've been together ever since.
You are
it's heartbreaking.
So this guy is very. He's near and dear to your heart. Okay, so
he's better than my dad. He's a fantastic human being.
Here's what I want to know now, Tom. This is very important to know. Is he of sound mind? Can you visit him?
I can visit him, and he's not of sound mind. He's completely deaf. He has a cochlear implant. But he was okay until the wreck, and the wreck has really made his.
But has he been declared incompetent?
Yes, they did that. I think they did that at the hospital, at the nursing home.
So who is his guardian right now?
He doesn't have one. That's the problem. We don't know.
Well, how is the nursing home being paid?
They're not. They asked me to give them blank checks, and I told them to go pound sand.
Well, hold on. They're not getting paid. They should have every reason to believe. Now, even though, Tom, don't tell them that you're going to take him out of there or anything, but they should have every reason to want to get you or get someone a power of attorney. Or someone had to have been assigned to him. They don't just declare someone incompetent, I don't believe, without assigning someone. I want to get Dan McKenzie on the show to talk about this, Tom. If you'd be so kind as to hang on, or we can call you right back. I want to get Dan McKenzie. This is a serious issue, and I want to help you, Tom. You're a very good-hearted person. This man sounds like a good guy. What's his first name?
His name's Ken, and he's a prince. This guy, just fantastic man. And it's just so sad. I mean, him and my mother were just inseparable. It's so sad.
Oh, man. I'm so sorry about this. Well, who was driving?
My mother was. And it's just, I think when you get old, you stop driving. It's hard to tell people not to drive.
How old was your mom?
But 78.
Well, God, that's not, that's not that old. I mean,
no,
by today's standards. Was she of sound mind?
Oh, yeah. She was sound mind. Absolutely.
Let me ask you something. Are you positive that he was declared incompetent? You said, oh, yeah.
You know what? I am not positive because I haven't heard anything of that. But,
okay. If you can visit
I just
him.
Don't know. Great question.
If you can visit him and get him to sign something, that might be the answer right there. Hold on, Tom. We're going to get some legal advice for you. Hey, Axe, let's try to get Dan McKenzie on after the break. I'm Tom Martino. We're with Brad O'Brien Legal Services. He'll be coming up with information on real estate, plus your calls and your texts. Stick around.
Awesome.
Okay, this proves it.
Visit DanCaplisLaw.com. That's DanCaplisLaw.com.
I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino, and I've seen the wrong way to sell precious metals, tangled necklaces, mismatched earrings, broken watches, coins. The wrong way is not knowing who you can trust. That's why I recommend David Ellis Jewelry on 3rd and Clayton. He'll weigh it and pay it. He'll even buy your fine jewelry and diamonds. I've known him 40 years. It's time you get to know him. 2640 East 3rd Avenue. That's 3rd and Clayton. 303-322-8779. 322-8779. 630 KHOW.
KRX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver. This is 630 KHOW. Denver's talk station. An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The Supreme Court justices hearing arguments in the Trump administration's push to end birthright citizenship. President Trump becoming the first president to attend a Supreme Court hearing today. He stayed briefly and then left. Justices appearing to be skeptical. The Trump administration has legal standing to change birthright citizenship for babies born in the U.S. based on the Constitution. ABC News.
Oh, is it top of the hour?
The math is tough for Trump.
Bottom of my ass.
Bottom of your ass.
We used to have a guy come in who was a Major League Baseball umpire who had stormed off the job in a move. I mean, Major League Baseball umpire. He's the guy standing behind the base. The guy in the full. And like 30 umpires decided to go on strike to teach the league a lesson, and the league went, see ya, and hired some new guys. What the fuck? We thought, they can't live without you. So he ended up having to do sports here. Bob Davidson, raging alcoholic, wild personality, had some of the greatest sports stories. It's crazy. I don't give a shit about sports. But if you tell me some deal about, well, this guy, we have bases loaded, bottom of the ninth, and he's up to... I love the sports stories. The great epic stories about somebody against all odds pulling it out and doing something wild. That's freaking awesome. The rest of the shit I can do. So he had great stories like that, and also stories like guys who were chronic gamblers, major league players that had problems with gambling, and that would come up and give them their pagers at the time, which was a little device that numbers would run across. It wasn't a phone. It was just a thing that vibrated that had numbers on it. And these players would go, "Hey Bob, if this goes off and it says 911, you kick me out of the game because then I got to get to Vegas." Or, they'd say all sorts of things. But he came in and had to work here doing sports until the league hired him back. And every day he'd come in. "Top of the morning, Mr. Scott." And I'd always say, "Bottom of my ass, Mr. Davidson." And we did, and we got on so well, and we drank a lot. So when you say top of the, I always say bottom of my. So I'm sorry it turned into that story, but
no, that was funny.
That's not bad. We did a home opener, like the thing that's coming up on Friday. We did a home opener remote from a bar across the street from Coors Field. It had just opened. Yeah, it just opened. And we're down there at a bar across the street during a 3-hour remote.
When is the home opener?
Friday! That's why you have to be here.
Oh, wow. Okay. Are you going to be there, Shannon?
I will be at the game.
Damn. I want to be at the game.
Well, we don't need you at the game.
Okay.
We need me at the game.
Did you call Mackenzie yet?
Efforting.
I texted him. I'll give him a call now.
All right. I'm telling a story about me and Bob Davidson having 16 rum and cokes apiece during a broadcast.
16.
We kept the glasses. We had the waitresses leave the glasses at the table so we could keep track. We each had 16. Now, they were skinny. It was a home opener. So it was kind of they were doing a deal, and they were sort of cute little glasses at the Sports Column, the bar that used to be right across the street from Coors Field. And I was under the table crying, and Bob was still taking calls. "It's Bob Davidson. You're here on the Zoo." Not the Zoo, the Zone. Remember when 760 was the Zone? "You're in the Sports Zone, Bob Davidson. What do you want to talk about?" I'm like, God, how are you still speaking English? 16 rum and cokes, man. Oh, well. Good old days. I used to do remotes down there with Dave and Scott and not remember doing the remote. I'd wake up the next day and go, "Oh, my God, where's the equipment? Where's the van?" "Oh, it's in the driveway." Oh, what was I worried about? Everything's fine. Dan might not answer the phone. He's got an actual job. Right, Tom?
Yeah.
I'll give him a
Come
call
on,
here.
Dan. Got to get him. I need an answer. Can't depend on a real estate attorney to answer it.
Golly. It's Mackenzie, not McKenzie. So maybe he can't see. That's stupid. But very little of this is smart.
Considering a pension buyout, a severance package, or what to do with your 401k. Hi, I'm Linda Gardner, host of Your Money, Your Retirement, and I Can Help. 720-488-8604. That's 720-488-8604.
Hi, Angie Keenan is done right. Great pricing options and bank financing. Heating, fans, towns and floors, finished basements, windows and doors. Done right since 1985. To have our roof refrigerated done right, visit drhi.com.
For plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains, think Plumbline Services with quality brands like Carrier. I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino. I use Plumbline in my home. Service professionals, 25 years strong, on a mission of excellence, character, and ethics. Castle Rock to Brook Holland since 1998. Plumbline and Carrier. Turn to the experts. No phone call, no hassles. PlumlineServices.com.
Service at home, service at heart. Plumbline Services.
Keep your retirement money safe at mymoneymyway.com. Here's what's happening. It's been a month in Iran. American firepower is increasing. Iran's decreasing. In Michigan, that synagogue attack.
Hezbollah active terrorism.
That's in a DHS shutdown.
For Washington.
advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino. How are you? This hour brought to you by Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Yeah, Frank will do a market analysis of your home to tell you what it will sell for on the open market, considering the competition, the neighborhood, the comps, and supply and demand and everything. Okay, every aspect of your house, the neighborhood, interest rates, and it's all free before you list with no obligation. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. Hey, give us a call if you have a problem, a question, or a complaint. Tom has a problem, and we're working on it. We're going to try to get somebody on to talk about this. But Tom's mom was killed in a car accident. She was with her boyfriend, 93 years old, I think, and he took care of her. They were inseparable. Now he survived. He's in a nursing home, and Tom is trying to get access to this guy's life so he can help him. He's in a crap hole nursing home, and he thinks he might be declared incompetent. We're not sure. We need to know how to go about helping this guy. And Dan McKenzie is probably going to be a big help in that, in giving us information. Now, speaking of Frank Duran and the real estate part, I got OLS Law with us today, or O'Brien Legal Services. Brad O'Brien, he does real estate law. And I do have some questions for him that came in by text. By the way, people, again, please call us at 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. We love having you as part of our show on the phone, but I know a lot of you prefer to text. I am going to give out that number. I know Mark says I should encourage more people to call, and I do, but the world's changing. Ever since COVID, it happened. People just are damn impatient, but our local number is 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Shoot the breeze. Tell us what you think. But the text number is 747-999-5280. The way to remember that is, I love airplanes, and 747 is a giant airplane. 747. Then 999 is close to perfection, right? I can't do 10, 10, 10. So it's 747-999, and then 5280 for our city, 5280 for the Mile High City. 747-999-5280. Okay, or 303-MARTINO. Now, let me get to some of these texts I've got for Brad O'Brien. Brad, somebody wants to know if a tenant stops paying rent. This is a true question, so I have to know. Realistically, how long do they get to stay before they are absolutely kicked out? Now, I think this is a tenant writing us, but how long if they just don't pay rent? Does it usually take, in the Colorado court system, what does it take about now to get someone from the time they stop paying to the time they're on the street?
It kind of depends on which county, because you can run through the court process part of it and quickly, maybe very, very quickly, if you're lucky, for a landlord, 4 weeks to 6 weeks.
Wait. That's very, very lucky?
For a landlord, yeah.
4 to 6 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay, then what? Okay.
Then once the landlord gets an order of possession, they call up the sheriff to execute that writ of restitution. The sheriff opens up their calendar and says, okay, we're scheduling evictions. Okay, 3-6 weeks out from now. Okay.
Now, wait a minute. They can't hire private security?
No. Writs of restitution have to be executed by the county sheriff.
Okay.
Only by the county sheriff.
Okay.
And various counties have.
So you can have 4 to 6 weeks, let's say 6 weeks on the outside, and then another 3 weeks on top of that. So 9 weeks if you're lucky, you're saying?
Yeah.
If you're lucky?
Yeah.
2 months?
Sure. Yeah. It could be longer, actually, in perhaps Denver County. Or some of the northern counties might be even more backed up.
What's the longest you've heard of?
Well, it varies all the time and by county.
Can a landlord shut off utilities or change the locks? Now,
absolutely not.
Now, that's called but here's what I want to know. And again, and I mean this sincerely. It's not a wink, wink. I really mean this sincerely. I'm not encouraging this. But who would stop a landlord from doing it? I mean, if a landlord does it, will the police come and say, you better let that guy in? I mean, who won't it take the courts to in other words, what will a tenant be able to do if they're running out of money anyway? And again, I'm not encouraging this, but I'm saying if a landlord does it, they're wrong. Okay, they're legally wrong in doing it. But what will happen to them? Doesn't a tenant have to sue the landlord, or is there an agency that will come right to the tenant's aid?
Well, there are very stiff penalties by statute. At the top of my head, I can't tell you what they are. A certain number of times the rent or a certain dollar amount. It's pretty stiff.
It is.
Yeah.
And it goes to the tenant.
Yes. And plus attorney's fees. So in theory,
go to an attorney.
Yeah.
An attorney may take it if they know the landlord is breaking the law.
Right. The attorney may take it without a retainer and on contingency and get their attorney fees on the back end.
Okay. So, how long would it take that tenant to get back in? I mean, can you do an emergency hearing?
Perhaps, yeah.
Now, but what if the landlord says, but he's not paying? The judge will probably say, well, then go through the eviction process.
That's right. There's no excuse for locking a tenant out, turning off the utilities. That's an illegal eviction.
Okay. So the answer is you can do it, but you're going to be in trouble and you could end up paying a lot of money.
Yes.
Okay. And what is the biggest, when landlords try to do evictions on their own, what's a common mistake they make? That's not anyone's question. That's my question.
Missing the deadlines, or not missing deadlines, but not waiting the statutory number of days before you're. I guess there's
from notice.
The notice requirements. There's prerequisites, like you have to
depending on how long they've been there.
You have to give a 10-day notice of non-payment of rent, and then you can file your court complaint. Just following all the steps as they're laid out.
That's why you need an attorney, because if you miss one of those steps, you could end up having to start over again.
Yeah, a big one is this just cause eviction statute. If a landlord wants to move back in or sell it, they have to give this 90-day notice before, and that's 90 days before the tenant's term is up. But if they give the notice too late, and then like 60 days before the term is going to renew, that's too late. Then the term is going to renew, and then they have to wait until the next time it renews to give that notice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so it has to be before the term renews.
Yeah. So if the tenant's lease automatically renews on a year-to-year basis, and the landlord does not get that,
they may have to wait a whole year.
Yeah. Now some leases are written that they automatically renew after the first year on a month-to-month basis. Okay, then the landlord can just wait.
Do you find sometimes that landlords are baffled by this when they come to you and they can't believe it?
Well, yes, but honestly, the law has been changing so rapidly that it's been a moving target the last 6 years. The landlord-tenant laws and the statute,
and they've been changing at light speed as laws change, but in favor of tenants, right? Haven't they?
Yes, almost uniformly in favor of tenants, yes.
And so tenants went to having almost no rights at all. I mean, there was no warrant of habitability. There was nothing back. I remember having to tell renters, I'm sorry, you're at the whim of the landlord, basically. I mean, eviction, I think you had to go through a process. It didn't take that long, but I'm telling you that the laws now, especially the just cause, and that's one of the most misunderstood laws, is basically, as I heard it referred to by the I don't want to call morons, the idiots on Nextdoor. They said basically you're signing a lease for life unless you have a just cause. But in a way, they're not so wrong, because
yeah, it used to be a landlord could non-renew a tenant that just kind of rubbed them the wrong way.
Just say, I don't want to renew you.
Or didn't get along with other tenants. Okay, just don't renew that one tenant and get somebody in that works better with the other tenants. But now, once a tenant's been there for a year, that tenant has the right to be renewed for a second year.
Right.
Yes.
Unless what?
Unless one of the very few exceptions that the landlord
wants to move in,
sell the unit, move themselves back in, or their family back in, or do a major renovation.
Tell me, if this tenant is a pain in the ass and complains all the time, that's not a reason.
Yeah, so long as they pay the rent. Yeah.
You have a question, D?
Yeah, related to the rental law. This is for liability, neighbor's liability. So, Brad, in my case, I live in a multi-unit building, and a few months ago, a unit upstairs from me leaked into my unit, caused about $51,000 in damages.
Oh my God!
And that's the bid from Genesis Exteriors. And my insurance company, American Family, offered me approximately 17,000. So we have this huge delta that's a little over 30 grand. Now, I haven't been able to get anywhere with American Family. They're just going to stand fast on their number. But I know for a fact it's going to cost me $30,000 more. So the guy upstairs.
But you could have a bad faith and get trouble.
I hope so. And so Matt from Paragon, whom I hired from the very start to even just file the claim for me, he's working on it. But so far, no lawsuit has been filed. So that's one of the avenues that I'm exploring. In the meantime, Brad, what are my options in recovering this $30,000 delta from my upstairs neighbor? Now, the final thing I'll say about this, he made himself very difficult to find after the leak, and he maintains false address information with the real estate taxing authority.
But
so
are you?
Find him.
I want to explore this, but I have to take a break. Yeah, I want to ask a couple questions of you. Like, was he negligent?
I think so, because the unit had been unoccupied for probably months and months and months. There was a low volume leak in his kitchen.
And can he say, well, how would I ever know that?
Well, you have a certain responsibility, not only to your neighbors, but to your own insurance company to come and check on vacant property to make sure stuff like this is.
Is that a law or is that a regulation? Or
I don't think it's an actual law.
No, but you're saying it's basically standard.
Well, for my insurance policies, for example, specifies a certain maximum amount of time that my home can be unattended.
But I'm wondering if this guy can say, look, Your Honor, I did nothing wrong. I had a place vacant and I was off on vacation.
Right. But that doesn't change the fact that his place leaked into mine.
Okay, but hold on, because he must have insurance.
He does have insurance. He opened a liability claim with them only after American Family Law Firm began to hound him because...
So now, can't you collect from your insurance and from his insurance?
Well, I did try. So his insurance company is Travelers. I spoke with that adjuster,
and
she said, no, we're not interested in writing you a check. You got to get your check from American Family, and then we're going to write them a check for subrogation.
Okay, in other words, American Family is going to subrogate. They're going to keep their guy out of court by paying American Family. Can you go directly after the tenant?
That's what I'm looking for.
Let's talk about that coming up. I'm Tom Martino. We have more right after this. Wow. What a freaking... You're going through a mess, man. I didn't realize what a mess you're going through.
Friends and family are often the first to notice when a veteran needs help.
You're really going through it.
In those moments, life can feel like the weight of the world is on their shoulders. Or like they are caught in a storm they can't escape. And the metaphors veterans often use for the challenges of life are not exaggerations.
I got you.
Extending a helping hand doesn't have to be just another metaphor. Learn how you can support the veteran in your life at maketheconnection.net.
I'm talking about the lowest prices for plumbing anywhere. You want a water heater? You will get the lowest price from Euro Plumbing, Colorado.com, starting at just $14.99. You heard me, under $1,500. Also, they're tankless specialists. They do repiping with PEX, the lifetime plumbing with no joints to leak, freeze proof. They do garbage disposal, sump pumps, anything. Your price, including repiping your whole house, as I said, the best prices, the best values. Euro Plumbing, Colorado.com. 720-500-3000, 720-500-3000. Hey, you want selection? How about Gravina's 50 lines of windows? Yeah, you heard me right. 50 lines of windows. You're going to find a window right for you. Plus siding and doors. Gravina's 950 West Evans, a family affair, been around like 65 years. If you want a great deal and great selection, and great heritage, Gravina. 303 Gravina or gravinas.com.
Spokesperson paid for.
Fabulous.
administration. Across the country, nursing homes have been cited for unsafe conditions, understaffing, and failures that put residents at serious risk. Physical abuse, emotional abuse, medical neglect, malnutrition, and unexplained injuries can happen when facilities fail to protect those in their care. If you believe your loved one suffered abuse of any kind while in a nursing home, you may have a right to pursue justice. Speaking up could help protect your loved one and prevent the same harm from happening to others. Call our nursing home abuse helpline now for a free and confidential claim review to see if your case may qualify for substantial compensation. Call now. Time to file may be limited. Call 800-701-2430. That's 800-701-2430. 800-701-2430.
You may have heard tax credits are going away in the solar business, not so for commercial systems. And here's the best news. Alliance Roof and Solar, formerly Red Rocks, now can help you with that commercial system. For conventional business, even some home-based businesses. Learn how to qualify where the government pays for most of it, and you make positive cash flow. Call Alliance today, 303-704-2449 or redrocksrs.com. Check now at 303-704-2449.
You know what scared Kathy more than surgery? Giving up her active life, turning down opportunities to do the things she loves.
I found myself saying, no, I don't want to do that because of pain. It was really limiting my activities in every way.
And then came the diagnosis.
You need 2 full knee replacements. I don't have time for a double knee replacement. And I don't like pain. So, no.
But that's not how her story ends. She tried something different. QC Kinetics. It was cutting edge, but natural and much easier on her body, with thousands of patient success stories.
I went to QC Kinetics. Within a couple of weeks, I was absolutely pain-free, no pain. I feel fantastic. Too much life to live, and I want to stay in motion as long as I possibly can.
Don't let pain decide what you say yes or no to. Live your best life. They'll make sure of it at QC Kinetics, starting with a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 303-900-8986. That's 303-900-8986. 303-900-8986.
Do you know what you will never hear when using Frank Duran, the real estate man? No gimmicks, no fluff, and no clearance. Your best in the very first case I got. That's Frank, and he guarantees results. Small claims. I back you up with a true written performance guarantee. Backed by a team of experts, but he oversees every deal. I'm with you every step of the way. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. The register of action says, don't trust your biggest financial investment anywhere.
For small claims, they usually have no filings. I did that complaint with a handwritten one sentence. He owes me $1,200. And I complained so I'll see people there. I hate being done and suspenders and furnish the whole
The Raleigh House. We're here for you. Mostly cloudy skies with a chance of rain later on this afternoon. Highs today will be seasonal in the upper 50s and low 60s.
I just sent 4 different emails.
This report is sponsored by the Our American Stories podcast.
It can make stuff look so nice. And it talks about the psychology of typing, and it tells you what is the optimal amount of horizontal sweep that the reader's eyes should make.
Hey, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Carl has an issue with solar. Let's talk about that. Carl, what's going on? Then we'll go right back to, I know that we have D wants to talk about his problem, and it's a major one, and it's a great question. Can you go and subrogate beyond what your insurance company is subrogating? Hey, Carl, what's going on with you?
Oh, hi, Tom. I'm looking for some advice on what I can get done with this solar company that just isn't responding to my inquiry concerning low production.
Okay, so hold on. How long have you had the solar on your system, the solar system on your house?
Okay, the solar system was installed on 9/1 of 24. And when I signed up with a company called Blue Raven Solar.
Yes. And
they were bought out by SunPower. And then I guess SunPower went bankrupt, and they were bought out by Solaris.
Okay.
Solar.
So
And
your
if you
current
go on the
company
internet, it's
now.
the
Now,
wrong-
here's what I want to know. This is very important, Carl. This is extremely important. Normally, when a company is bought out or they go out of business, all of their obligations end, and the new owners very seldom. Very, very, very seldom do the new owners take on the old responsibility unless they want to. They have no obligation to do it at all. None. Zero. They can use the same name. They can have the same location. They can have the same logos. They can have the same everything. But if the business entity does not literally buy the past business and agree to it, no one can make a business do it. We've had so many calls in the past where somebody says, well, wait a minute, Tom. Years ago, there was a place called San Juan Pools. They were big drop-in fiberglass pools they put in the ground, and they started failing. And San Juan had a lifetime warranty. Someone bought San Juan, and they bought everything about them, everything, except from that date forward, when that corporation bought San Juan Pools, they never warranted anything retroactively, and they don't have to. In fact, when you have a great company like K&H Home Solutions, for example, they bought K&H, who's been in business 65 years. They did not have to do service. Now they do, but they did not have to do it. So you're going to have a problem if there was a warranty. Now, if there is no warranty, then my question is, why do you care about these companies? Just go to a legit solar company and ask about your production. Because if you don't have a warranty, you can go to anybody, unless you're trying to get something done under warranty. What is your situation?
I'm trying to get it done under warranty.
What is your warranty?
Emails.
What warranty are you trying to get enforced? Is it a dealer warranty or is it a manufacturer's warranty?
No, it's not. It's I guess a dealer warranty because of the fact that
dealer warranty is gone.
I got a PV assumption.
Your dealer warranty is over.
I got it. And so what you're saying is I'm out of business here.
SOL.
Because
solar out of luck.
They won't respond.
SOL.
Okay.
Solar.
So there's nothing I can do. All right.
Carl, there is something you can do. You can call a good company.
Yeah, like Red
Alliance, Roof Solar.
Yeah,
now
they can fix equipment.
They can fix stuff. Now, remember, they've switched over to doing commercial, but I think they still have a service. It's hard to get service in solar, but Alliance does a pretty good job for us. You might want to try them. And if they can fit you in the schedule, what do you think is going on with your system, by the way? What do you think?
Well, I know what's going on. They sent a technician out.
Yeah.
And the date was annotated in the emails that I sent you.
How long has it been going on, by the way? How long has it been not producing a lot?
Well, the first 12 months, it did not produce the PV assumption, which was 7,628 kilowatts.
So it's not producing. It's not producing what they said it would. How many panels do you have?
I have 9. And the guarantee, if you look at the contract, talks about a minimum. You have to be a minimum of 15%.
Okay.
Below what they say.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There is not one company that would ever in the solar business take on someone's warranty. So, Carl, the truth is you're out. But you can call solar people. And again, if Alliance can't do it, call someone else and try to get them to help you and see what's wrong. It could be they just sold you a bad system, but they're gone. That's the problem. See, that's the problem with all companies. Warranties are only as good as the company. They're, and that's got to be expected, right? I mean, no one buys other people's problems. And that's why the idea of 50-year warranties are silly. I mean, the ideas of lifetime warranties, they're silly unless it's like you get a lifetime warranty or a 50-year warranty from a company like General Electric, or you know what I'm saying. If you get something, where they're going to be around. But I think your problem might be one of two things. One, it's first of all undersized for what you're expecting. That could be the problem. They oversold it. Or it could be a simple problem with your inverter or with one part of your system. Who knows? It could be the solar panels aren't wired correctly. You said even during the first year you didn't get what was expected, and you've had it since 24. So you had it a little more than a year. What's that?
Yeah, Tom, but the guarantee's probably out the window.
Well, I know it is. There's no doubt it's out the window. Yeah. I mean, I can't say that for.
But why are they corresponding with me back and forth? Why are they wasting my time? I'm sending these emails, and they say they're reviewing it. And they sent a technician out who said the same thing. It was miscalculated, undersized.
Okay.
Why are they wasting their time? Why don't they just tell me they're not honoring the warranty?
Well, because they're not stupid. They're smart people. And what they want to do is they want you to buy an increase that they want to eventually have you upgrade your system.
Or maybe they're about to offer them a repair service.
Yeah, like a contract.
At his expense.
Yeah. If they are sending texts, you should ask them what it will take to upgrade the system. I'm not sure. Do you get another credit for upgrading? I wonder. I'd like to ask that. Who knows? You might get a tax credit for increasing the system. Hey, do me a favor. Can you get Carl? I'm sorry, man. The bottom line is this. They're wasting your time because they want to sell you something. I mean, let's face it. You're a live customer. They don't want to turn you off to solar. Axe, try to get Alliance Roof and Solar on. I want to ask them a question about upgrading a system or improving a system. If in fact you can take a tax credit for that, I don't know the answer to that, but it would be a pretty good idea to check it out. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. You heard Genesis Total Exteriors on the line earlier today talking about their services. One thing I want to tell you they also do is mold detection and remediation the honest way. GenesisTotalExteriors.com.
Thank you.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver, an iHeartRadio station. Ryan Schuling, mornings at 6. Dan Kaplis, afternoons at 4. This is Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW. Now, Impact Traffic.
Yeah, we're looking at a nice drive out here. Pretty much clean and green on the highways. Not seeing any unusual slow spots out here. Posted speed limit, for the most part, I-25 included all the way across the city. Pena has been running a little slow coming out of the airport, but really not in a delay mode at this point. I-70 west from Pena back to I-25 is roughly about 10 minutes on the drive time. 225 to 10-minute commute out of Aurora. C-470 through Highlands Ranch, 15 minutes between Ken Carroll and I-25. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
This report is sponsored by the Our American Stories podcast.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll tell the tale of what happened when 2 U.S. congressmen dueled with rifles. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
Sheridan Auto Tech is one of the finest repair facilities I've ever had with my cars, okay? I've been all over, and they're better than the dealer. They're cheaper than the dealer, and I get a higher level of service. If you're, whether a new car, a used car, or you want to check out a used car before you buy the car, SheridanAutotech.com. They do major and light maintenance and repairs. They also do electrical issues. SheridanAutotech.com. Great people on Colfax, west of Wadsworth. That's SheridanAutotech.com. 303-455-7242.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yes. Available for residential/business use. Standard commercial. 20% to 23%.
I thought they had hit 60 in the lab, but okay, so they hit 50 in the lab. That's because that was my complaint about solar for a long time, was that the International Space Station is getting 24% on stuff in space. What am I going to get on my townhome?
Yeah.
Oh, ring rattle.
Bummer. I texted Britt. White.
Troy Hansford with Remax Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions apply. I got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news, there's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar Plant Protein Bars, which empower doers like you with a clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ Bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. You feel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar. Now you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. You text RADIO from 64,000. Text RADIO from 64,000 to get your 20% off. That's RADIO from 64,000.
All right, so what's your deal? What's your mom's deal that you are so rational and seemingly intelligent? What'd she do? Her dad around?
Nope.
All right, that happens. We got our own lives, motherfucker. What's it to you? Or did he die in some tragic accident? I shouldn't be joking.
Oh no, you can joke all you want.
Oh, okay.
He didn't die. Not that I know.
All right. Well, days early.
Could be dead now.
I got the afternoon wide open. What do you need? So, yeah, what'd she do to keep your head screwed on straight?
I don't know, really. I don't think it was her. I think it was like events in life that happened.
All right.
But I can't say that it's all me. She did contribute some.
Yeah. All right.
Can you get Brooke on?
I just texted her. I'm gonna give it a couple minutes and then call her.
We're doing stuff in here, Tom. What's it to you? We're on it. We hear your needs and your, we hear you snap your fingers, and we bring over your bottle of Beaujolais.
What's Beaujolais? Is that like a champagne?
No, it's Tom. What was Beaujolais? Is that like the Pinot Noir? Or would D know?
I've never heard that.
A Beaujolais, like Beaujolais Nouveau?
No, I've never heard it. No.
Holy crap. Well, I had a weird upbringing. I've had Beaujolais Nouveau that was delivered from France on the Concorde.
What?
You ever had it? Yeah. Concorde Beaujolais. I've had it. Which was just the dumbest thing on the planet. It's the fresh batch of Pinot Noir or whatever from that region of France.
Do you like drinking Pinot Noir?
I think Pinot Noir is a type of crime novel.
Oh, yeah.
No, here we go. I got it.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. Let's go back and talk with Brad O'Brien. And Deputy D was talking about subrogating and how it works. So here's the bottom line. Deputy D had some damage. It was caused by an upstairs unit having a leak, a slow leak, and the guy had the unit vacant. Deputy D has American Family Insurance put in a claim. American Family is only offering to pay a small part of the damages according to what really is needed by Genesis Total Exteriors. Mark Schmansky's a great guy, gave D a realistic assessment of what needs to be done. American Family says, we're only going to pay part of it. So D complains to the guy upstairs. He finally puts a claim in with his insurance company. His insurance company, which is Travelers, by the way, a good insurance company, says, look, we're not going to pay you directly. We're going to pay your insurance company when they try to subrogate. basically to keep our guy out of court. So the question, Brad, what do you think? Is that upstairs guy? I don't see anything that would prevent. I don't know, unless I can't see anything that would prevent D from going after that guy personally.
Okay, well, this is a common fact pattern. Condo building, water leaks down from above into a unit below.
Yes.
As a lawyer, my approach is first, causation. What was the cause of the leak? We haven't talked about that yet.
Right.
Now, there could be many causes. It could be from the inside of the unit. Okay, then that suggests that it's the responsibility of the unit owner. Is it some appliance or something inside the unit that makes that unit owner
By the way, what was it that failed?
It wasn't in the walls. It was in his kitchen. And the plumber said that it was either the dishwasher supply line or the refrigerator supply line. He wasn't sure because there was such a big pool of water in there.
But that suggests it's the homeowner's responsibility and liability. Now, it's important because sometimes the leak is actually the association's responsibility because it could have been a pipe in the wall, in the ceiling that is the...
That's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, but we haven't talked about that.
In fact, I think you kind of... don't you relieve them of responsibility when you sign on to an HOA?
No.
I thought maybe.
No, the declaration specifies who's responsible for what. Okay, inside
you don't indemnify your condo owners. Okay.
No.
All right.
You've got various pipes supplying water, and some pipes are member responsibility.
Right.
Typically, the ones serving like one unit are the responsibility of every unit. Pipes supplying many units are typically written into the declaration as the responsibility of the association to maintain and replace and repair. Okay. If that breaks, then okay. Anyway, so getting back to this person's water leaked and it was his responsibility, and that's the party to sue, the homeowner. You don't sue an insurance company; they're not a party. Okay, you may end up dealing with an insurance company, but if you're satisfaction from the insurance company, you have to sue the homeowner.
Right. Yeah, just like if you're in a car accident, you don't have a contractual arrangement with his insurance company. You go after the driver, and that driver has to say, "Hey, cover me." So can D now go after that condo owner saying, "Look, I'm not satisfied. I'm not being made whole. I'm not being made whole by my own insurance. I'm not being made whole by your insurance. I'm going to have a deficit here. I'm going after you personally." And then let him fight with his insurance. I mean, technically, if it's this guy's fault, then his insurance should cover the loss. I think what it all boils down to is the acknowledgement first of the amount of the loss. And then how the payment should be made. I don't understand travelers' reasoning that they're not going to pay you, they're going to pay your insurance company. I don't understand that at all.
Yeah, I don't either.
Because if they paid you for all your damages, you wouldn't have a claim with your insurance company for them to subrogate.
Right. And so I'm not worried about travelers at all because I can't sue them, so I don't need to go down that road. What I'm wondering about, Brad, is what is my cause of action called? How do I sue the guy? Do I sue him for the entire amount or just the delta between what my insurance company offered me and what it's going to cost to repair my condo?
It's a property damage claim sounding in negligence.
Yeah, I would say you go for the whole thing because really the only reason you're using your insurance is because of his absence of acceptance.
Right. So, Brad, is this the kind of case that you handle? And if not, do you know anybody who handles a case like this? And how do they get compensated for that?
Yeah, I don't really do property damage cases as a real estate attorney. I do other types of real estate disputes, like breach of real estate contract.
Sure. But I think, I don't think you'll have a problem finding someone. I mean, it's realistically a negligence claim against him. What I'm going to have a problem with, if I was on a jury or had to decide this as a judge, was he truly negligent? And again, I hope he is for your sake. I mean, I hope it is obvious. But where was the leak up there? Where was it?
What do you mean, where was it? It was in his kitchen.
Like where? Oh, was it inside a wall?
No, it was outside the wall. It was either from the refrigerator or from the dishwasher supply lines.
Okay.
The plumber.
And how do you know that?
I have a video recording of the plumber who went up there at the behest of the association to track down the leak. He came back down to my unit, and I was video recording with a phone in my pocket. And he says, "Yeah, I found the unit up in 4 Bravo, and it was leaking, and it was in the kitchen. I couldn't tell which appliance was leaking." because there was so much water. So I just turned off the
when
supply
you
line.
talked to the guy upstairs,
Yeah.
was he a jerk? Or
he's a
he was. He didn't say, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
Oh, he wouldn't even give me his real address. He lives somewhere else, and he maintains false information about his location with the taxing authority.
I think if you brought a lawsuit,
yeah,
he will pressure his insurance company to handle.
That's what I'm banking on, right?
I don't even understand. Again, travelers saying, well, we're going to wait until your company subrogates because you're not obligated to put in a claim.
And the other thing I'm worried.
I mean, you're not obligated to.
Even more bigger mystery here. Why is AmFam fighting me over 30 grand when they're going to collect it from travelers?
I see that part. I don't know. And that's just the evil of insurance. I hate insurance companies. You know, I've said this before. Mm-hmm. Insurance, health insurance, property damage, insurance in general, is the only company, listen to this, the only company that the way they make money is by denying service, not increasing, not better service. Most companies, they do better, produce a better product or do more service to make more money. Insurance companies, on the other hand, are exactly the opposite. They make more money by denying service.
Tom, guess
Think
how
about
many,
that.
Guess
Think
how many
about
years I've been making monthly payments to American Family Insurance?
How many?
32 years.
Now, you, I think, have a bad faith claim because in Colorado, they just have to deny or delay. And they have to, and the standard is not that high. You simply have to have contractors saying, look, here's your damage. How can there be that much difference? Mark Szymanski is not overly expensive, and he does not outrageously price things because, insurance is involved. He's pretty damn honest when it comes to that.
Yeah, I read the entirety of his bid. It's many, many pages, and there are hundreds of line items. And I was surprised at how cheap some of those line items are.
So on what basis are they denying it? Did you go through the appraisal process yet? You got to do that before you sue them.
No. If you go through the appraisal process, you waive the right to sue them. That's what Matt told me.
Are you sure about
That's what Matt told me. Let's get him on the phone. I already waived my right to privacy in this matter.
No. That
is either or. He said you cannot.
I've never heard that before. You know what I want to do? I want to get Compass Insurance on in general. Right. Let's talk to Compass. See if Brian Burns is around. I have to take this break. I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK. By the way, stem cell therapy. I did it on my back, and I swear to God, they did away with my pain right before I had the surgery. I had to have surgery eventually. But with Denver Regen, if you don't have catastrophic problems, you can cure a lot of the problems with their stem cell. DenverRegen.com.
Yep. Now, impact traffic.
Well, we're sorry that nobody's responding to these texts when you keep asking to get people. I don't think that the
posted speed limit for the most
balloon was off the roads. We'll get it.
Across the city. Pena has been running a little slow coming out of the airport, but really not in a delay mode at this point. I-70 west from Pena back to I-25 is roughly about 10 minutes on the drive time. 225 is a 10-minute commute out of Aurora. C470 through Highlands Ranch, 15 minutes to Ken Carroll and I-25. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Blindster.com. If you price custom blinds at a retail store, you know how expensive they can be. At Blindster, we do things differently. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big on custom blinds. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
You know the heat's coming. It comes every year, and you want to make sure your AC is up for the task. Fix It 24/7. The name says it all. They want to keep things running. They want to fix things. That's why they do the $39 Extreme Clean, Tune, and Check of your AC. Just $39. That's a complete refurbishment. I'm telling you that. They lay all the parts out. They take it apart. They clean it. It would be hundreds of dollars elsewhere, but they want to introduce you. They want to be your company for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. So give them the chance. FixMyHome.com. Book now. Just $39 so they can show off. FixMyHome.com. Book now. Okay. I love Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Why? Because he is one of the finest people I know, let alone a negotiation expert when it comes to buying property or selling property. No matter what side of the transaction he's on, he'll do the best job for you. He has stats to show he sells homes for higher prices and faster than anyone, and he can prove it. Frank Durant, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. And speaking of real estate, have you ever thought about being a landlord? Well, you may not want to be a landlord in Colorado. I don't blame you. But Vestera Turnkey has researched lucrative markets to be landlords, where you can buy and make money when you sell in 2 to 3 years. And then they can teach you how to buy another one after that. But what they do is they help you find a property. They help you manage it, rent it, maintain it. They do all of that with you. Now, you own it, but they hold your hand through everything. 303-888-3788. Find out more right here. MyBiggestReturn.com.
Thank you. Sorry, threw me off. I'm fine though.
Can I hear me?
Yep.
Hey, Tom, what did we need Compass Insurance for again?
Oh, is it for Dee's problem? Tom!
What?
Hey, what do we need Compass for?
Is
it
for
for
subrogation in general and denying claims, the appraisal process, just in general? We want to talk about this kind of shit. And it is stemming off of his problem, but it's more of a universal question. And by the way, Brian doesn't usually need every detail. Just tell him it's about subrogation.
Well, you gave us every detail. We just added in the one word would have suited. Okay. But subrogation sounds like something Dimitri pays to have a ball gag in his mouth for.
Hey.
I want to be subrogated tonight, baby. What?
Tom, real quick, it's not going to be Brian. He's on vacation. It's going to be his assistant, Jennifer.
Jennifer's fine, Matthew's fine, Jeremy's fine, anybody you get on is fine.
That's fine.
You're fine. Shannon can do it.
Hi, Jen. This is Adam.
I think your case. Let me tell you something.
I'm just going to pitch it to you. I don't know if you saw my text.
Usually, companies don't want to do that bad faith thing because Colorado's been very generous.
I'm not
usually the courts handing out
it's one of our claims having questions.
Right.
There is.
You're suing that guy.
I am proud to say,
I almost, I don't know the path of least resistance because I don't know if you should go. Because bad faith is going to get you a lot of money.
It won't take too long.
And attorney's fees.
We're on a quick break right now, but when we do come back,
you may be able to get an attorney on contingency for that one.
Although I'm shocked I didn't get
Daily Black. Did you say Daily Black or Black Daily whatever? Yeah.
God, that's loud.
Big, bad. Yeah.
Golly. Coming into the.
There's a guy in town who
and the
represents
visiting
in London.
Their bus was pulling.
I don't know if he's still with him.
So
Did you talk to London Crounce?
And there's Drew in front of me at the magnetometer.
Let me see if I have London's number. London.
They don't even really check
London, as in the city.
1 in 10
Crounce.
people they actually. Sorry, you're beeping.
PRO.
Okay, so we're coming in the back
London
door.
Crounce attorney.
And they tell both of us.
You know what? He's with another
look
firm.
Out,
he does bad faith.
Get out of the way because
he's pretty good. And at least he was. He's with.
Well, look at him. He hardly takes up any room.
Let me get his number here.
And I thought it was always.
Now I'm not large loss. Hold on. Represents homeowners, individual, commercial property owners, business owners, association for against insurance companies' bad faith. So here he is.
He's been the opposite of pleasant.
Let me
always. And the one time I was on Rocky's flight was with him, and his little feet were dangling in those big ass first class seats.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Jen is with Compass Insurance Group, and I wanted to ask a couple questions, Jen, about subrogation. Just your opinions on stuff based on your experience. So we have someone with a loss at a condo caused by the guy upstairs. It was a leak. And it was an appliance upstairs leaking. So, and it was vacant. And my homeowner here, Deputy D here, one of our colleagues, claims that the guy's negligent. Okay, so D puts in a claim with his insurance company, which is American Family. An American Family is only offering to pay a fraction of the cost. So the liability insurance upstairs says, we're not going to pay you, Mr. Condo owner. We're only going to pay your insurance company if they subrogate. Is that normally how they do it? I mean, why would he's not even obligated to put in a claim to begin with? Why wouldn't the insurance company upstairs simply not open up a whole claim for him? They said they wouldn't. They said they're going to wait to be sued by his insurance company. Is that normal?
I would tell you, in my experience with our carriers, that does not seem normal to me. I mean, it is very common to see subrogation happen on claims.
Right.
It's a little bit trickier when you are in multifamily units. Is it possible that the homeowners, like the bylaws of the association, are directing the insurance one way or the other? Because sometimes insurance carriers look at that.
No, we don't have such
that can be a factor.
Yeah, that's really common. You're right, but our association doesn't have such a clause.
Now, here's Jen, another question. I have another question, Jen. I hear bad faith in Colorado is not difficult to prove. I've talked to attorneys before who have been successful at getting treble damages and attorney's fees because these companies deny or delay a claim. And I heard all you had to do was have a legitimate contractor or two price out the job. And if your company refuses to pay their fair share, you can pretty well get bad faith. Now, have you had any, not you personally, but have you heard about bad faith claims? Yeah. And how do they go over in Colorado? I hear that they're pretty generous in Colorado.
I do think in Colorado, we have a pretty consumer-friendly state. I will tell you, we have really not had any experiences with this at our agency. That's how rare this would be.
All right, hold on. Thank you very much. We got more coming up. Okay, thank you.
Okay, ask Tom now.
Yeah, we're working.
Okay, she's done. We're good. He's good. She's good. We're out. He's done.
Hey, Jen, we appreciate you coming on and just giving your time.
All right, well, did you
of course. It's just a real quick minute or two. Just want you on. But yeah, no, thank you for coming on. Yeah, it's super easy.
What's his name? David?
No.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
I just had him up here. Here it is. It's Crounse. London as in the city.
Okay, Brownie, but it is
Crounse.
Yep. Douglas and Cirillo.
I don't know who he's with right now, but I see him. He's still up here.
Hey, where are you going?
Huh?
Douglas and Cirillo. Yeah, I found him.
Next time he does it, let him do it. It's
Insurance lawyer, he calls himself.
I said to him,
Trial
listen,
attorney.
I'll say this because the way I've been thinking, it's going to come out wrong. Do you have to be down at the remote on Friday?
No, I'm going to be here.
No, I said to him.
Oh, to Ryan?
No, to Brown.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Do you have to be at that remote on Friday? Yes. Yeah, no, I knew. Yeah, I knew.
Is he really? Oh my God!
Well, he even has videos on YouTube.
If you see his Instagram, my God Almighty! Pictures of himself and in front of a jet and working out.
I'll tell you,
in his car. I mean, this guy's in love with himself.
With Ross, some of the things we've done recently. When the hell was he on remote?
No, we were parked because that's been a while.
Oh, Winter Park's weird.
It may have been years back.
Because he's still, it's Ross and hey, we're here with the folks and we're doing the thing and this is great. Let's go to the phone and it's Admiral, and you're like, it's so weird. Whereas at least if it is Robin or something, the few seconds that it takes to mention that the Heartbreakers are on tour again. that it's not a distraction from the event, whereas sometimes just even coming up, what's our next fun thing? Training camp. There are times we're out there and we're doing something else. These idiots are throwing a ball and sweating and. Is that it?
AI porn stars.
I can't remember who it was. Is it a band that we were with? Or is it something on a podcast? God damn it. I hate how that blurs in your brain. Was it something?
There's no reality anymore. Yeah.
But I definitely heard a musician talking about some member of the band and going, hey guys, I got something to tell you. Fucking anime porn is really where it's at now.
Oh boy.
You psycho. Go ahead.
Thanks for calling Troubleshooter Show. Please hold a moment.
Whoever, the drummer goes, guys, anime porn's where it's at. And the guy goes, we tell him you're a fucking sicko. Oh, it's awful. 2 weeks later, we're all on board this goddamn anime porn.
Okay, yeah.
Like, oh, God. Jimmy was really onto something there.
To this guy. I think his name was Dave. Super nice. I don't remember what he did though.
Trevor Darling was forced to undergo the therapy, and he joined protesters at the state capitol. The need of this whole side of you is incorrect. You need to fix this side of you. It creates a division. Christian counselor Kaylee Childs was the one who challenged Colorado's ban on the practice.
This ruling means Colorado cannot import itself into the continent and silence enforcement moves to find contractors. Another bill under consideration at the State House will allow finance to protect counselors who promote immigration bills. A 5-year-old man on the hill and shooting by a dozen cars and trucks with a pellet gun in Fort Collins. Police say they
Well, I told the daughter yesterday about asking you occasionally. It's not an ask, it's just, should I do something to make my life better, or just completely fuck off?
Yeah.
And you're always, so you do it tomorrow? Or whatever the usual.
Yeah.
And I'm at a severe crossroads right now with this stuff. Fuck off or not. But, because I have so much to do the next 2 days.
Yeah.
But what the hell difference does it make? If I do anything now, it's not hardly going to help.
Right.
So, chilly weather and hands-free cigars.
Yeah.
You bet.
Enjoy the cigar.
Especially without the slight possibility of Bo being here to stop by. He did. He came up to the van and was hollering my name before I screamed at him to stop. When the doors cracked open. Andy in there? Ah, get the fuck out of here!
Why is he?
Because nobody can see directly in.
Why do you want to come say hi?
I mean, I'm not completely hideous. Let's see how big my cigar was.
All right, wait.
Huh? I don't know what his deal is. I don't judge. It's gone pretty well. I'll be back.
Feel the same? Dial pound 250. Say Mike Rowe and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk. $99 gutter cleanings. Go to excelroofing.com.
Here's what's happening. The Supreme Court weighs
Change birthright citizenship.
launch day for Artemis 2.
They can't wait to get off the ground.
Iran.
We're finishing the job.
It's the Dan Kaplan Show. Afternoons 4 to 6.
Wednesday, you're not going to want to miss this. It's going to be a red-hot oral argument.
On birthright citizenship, we'll have some of the highlight sound and we'll deep dive the case. Join me at 4.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK is the number when we're in the studio here, recovering hundreds of millions of dollars over the years in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. And I started talking a little bit about investments earlier on, about 401ks and the changes. And I just want to recap that because I did have a question on it. And I want to get to that. Then we have Brad O'Brien Legal Services, talking about real estate as well. And okay. So the president last year signed an executive order saying, let's open up 401ks to alternative investments like crypto and real estate and all kinds of stuff, right? Private equity, digital assets, as I said, real estate, lifetime income strategies, So here's the deal. After that, the Department of Labor actually made some rule changes. And the rule changes. So the changes were put into regulation. So now, if you have a 401k that allows an in-service distribution, you can take that. Before you had to have an in-service distribution and put it into an IRA and then self-direct it. But now all you have to do is use your 401k money for those investments if the trustee of the 401k allows it. Now, just because the rules change doesn't mean that your 401k provider or the trustee that your employer has, it doesn't mean they're going to open up these investments to you. So you may still have to do what's called an in-service distribution. So you're not penalized for that at all. And that goes into an IRA, and then you can make those independent investments. So again, you have to have a 401k whose trustee allows alternative investments, or you have to do an in-service distribution, which then goes into an IRA, which then is self-directed. But you have to have a trustee that allows that too with the IRA. Now, if you want any more information on this, we do this all day long. And you can call my chief investment counselor. You can call anyone at Martino Capital. We'd love to help you. As I said, I started this company because of my frustration in the financial business with people claiming to give financial advice when really they're selling a product, okay? Bottom line, if someone has one thing to sell, what are they going to do? They're going to sell one thing. That's the bottom line, okay? If they have a variety of services, that's what you're looking for. And please, when people say they want to give a free look, the free look needs to be able to say you're doing great. You got to be able to do that, or show in numbers where they can do better, in actual numbers. So let's talk about other kinds of distributions with 401ks. Someone asked about what they call the hardship distribution. This is truly, it's weird. The only time you need a hardship withdrawal is if your plan does not allow an in-service distribution. Because if it allows an in-service distribution without closing the 401k, then all you do is take the money, because a hardship withdrawal doesn't give you any special rights when you take money out of your 401k. It doesn't erase the penalties. A lot of people think a hardship withdrawal gets them the money without a penalty. It does not. Even if you have an extreme hardship and you need your 401k money, you can get it. Even if the plan doesn't allow for a distribution, what's called an in-service distribution, you can get it if you can prove extreme hardship, but you still pay the penalty and you still pay the tax in your tax bracket considering that money, okay? So that's what you really need to know. The only thing a hardship withdrawal does for you is allows you access to the money when there is no in-service distribution allowed, okay? Because some 401ks, you can't touch the money. Others allow you to take lump sums out to invest in other qualified plans. So remember, that's all it does is gives you access to your money. That's a hardship withdrawal. Again, it's nothing more than a withdrawal. Okay. Now, there are other things you can do. For example, penalty free. You can take a $1,000 emergency withdrawal once per year for a personal emergency, penalty free. You still pay the tax, but you don't pay the penalty if you take $1,000 or less per year. No penalty. Also, domestic abuse victims can withdraw the lesser of $10,000 or 50% of their account balance penalty free, but they have to repay it over 3 years. Now, I'm not sure what you have to do to prove you're a domestic abuse victim, but it does give you access to this 401k money. And the reason they did that is under the theory that people who want to get out of a domestic abuse situation, they need money. So in that case, it's $10,000 or less. You pay no penalty on that. It's penalty free. Now, there is another one called self-certification. Many plans allow you to self-certify your hardship, meaning you can simply state you're having a hardship. Again, you're still going to pay the penalty and you're still going to pay the income tax. So that's the word on 401ks. With IRAs, it's a different story. If you want to make alternative investments with your IRAs, you need a trustee that allows it. And again, when you make these investments, they cannot be in things you control. Like if you wanted to buy real estate, it would have to be a real estate trust or an LLC, and you could own a minority interest in that LLC, but you can't control it. That's one of the rules. So if you need more information, I'm going to give you that number for Martino Capital. You can talk to Pat or any of our team at 303-771-HELP, 771-4357. And please listen to me, okay? I got into this business for one reason. I was sick and tired of people calling themselves financial advisors who truly, honest to God, do nothing more than have you fill out a questionnaire and they ship it off into models. These big investment advisors have models, and you fit one of those models, they put you in a model. They don't invest your money at all. You could have the same exact investments as 100,000 other people. It depends on how big they are. Now, I'm not telling you they're automatically bad, but I'm telling you in our company, we babysit each and every account, and there's an advisor for your account who is responsible to you, and that's how we do it. 303-771-HELP, 771-4357, or martinocapital.com. Listen, also, I want to tell you about the IRS scams coming up. But first, I have a couple texts here for real estate from Brad O'Brien. Now, what exactly qualifies someone as a squatter? Is there a legal term for a squatter? They say, Tom, we hear you talking about squatting. when is a squatter a tenant, or when is a tenant a squatter? Is squatter defined legally or anything, or what is a squatter?
Well, if you want to use the squatter statute, which is
there is a squatter statute.
Yeah, we have that.
Wow, I didn't know that.
It provides an expedited procedure for getting the person out.
Okay, so that's why this person is asking, when do they become a tenant? When do they become a squatter?
It is defined in there as somebody who you have no contractual relationship with, and also is not part of your family or extended family.
Okay.
So you never had a lease with them. You never gave them permission to be there. Also, not one of your relatives.
That's good to know. So there is an expedited procedure for a squatter.
Yep.
So if someone fits the definition of a squatter, and that's according to law, then what are the expedited procedures roughly?
I'm not prepared to talk off the cuff about what that is.
So let's look that up, because I'd like to know that. This person wants to know. So it's a lot different than a normal eviction, because we've heard a lot of urban legends that, oh my God, somebody squatted on my property. It took 6 months to get rid of them, and I had to go through the eviction process. And you're telling me there's a separate eviction process for squatters, and that's good to know. But that's really good to know. And again, they can't, it's got to be someone that you don't have a relationship with. So if they were a past tenant, Brad, and again, I know if you have to look it up, no one can remember everything. But if they're a past tenant and they just overstay, they never become a squatter at that point, because they're just a tenant.
You have to use the regular eviction statutes, not the special squatter statute.
Okay, so we're going to look that up on squatters, the expedited procedure for that. And again, you should always have an attorney do it anyway. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. And we have another question on adverse possession. That's a popular topic. It was made very popular in Colorado when this Boulder judge, I remember, took property from a neighbor. This guy had property, and the judge used to run on the property. And the judge claimed because he used it as part of his running track, that it became his property, and he won. And it became a big landmark case, and it was called adverse possession. We can talk about that and more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255, or just call 303-MARTINO with any problem, question, or complaint. Gravina's has the greatest windows, and we say that because they have 50 lines of windows. 303 Gravina.
Hey, Mama, stop endlessly scrolling to find a caregiver. My trick to saving time and my sanity is SitterCity.com. They've helped busy parents find the perfect sitter for over 20 years, matching you with caregivers who actually fit your needs. I love that all caregivers undergo ID verification and background checks with real parent reviews, so you know they can handle your sassy toddler. Plus, you can always talk to a real-life human if you need help. For a smarter, simpler way to find trustworthy care, visit SitterCity.com today.
I love talking about the best prices. I love talking about discounts. I love talking about value. That's why I love talking about discountbath.com and also europlumbingcolorado.com. Two separate companies. Let's go to Discount Bath. The name says it all. You'll get your bathroom at a discount, whether it's for your fix and flip, your rental, or your dream home, or your second home, whatever it is, they'll give you the best prices and the best value. Put them to the test. In fact, if you want to just do a walk-in shower, they have one for $9,888, fully installed, no extra charge. Or if you want to do the hall room bath, the master bath, maybe you want to put in a new bath in the basement where it's roughed in, call Discount Bath. .com 720-979-2322. They'll even discuss price with you. They're so proud of their discounts. 720-979-2322, discountbath.com. Now, let's talk about the best prices ever in plumbing. Bar none. You know what they say? Europlumbing. You know what he says? I will beat any price when it comes to plumbing, and especially when it comes to water heaters. Man, you can't get a water heater less money for the same value. $14.99, starting at $14.99. They also are tankless specialists for the best price. They repipe your entire house with the best prices, including drywall repair with PEX pipe, the lifetime pipe, no joints to leak, no pinhole leaks ever, no rotting, no deterioration, no leaching into water, and best of all, freeze proof. They do garbage disposals and sump pumps. Euro Plumbing, Colorado.com. The best prices, 720-500-3000. 720-500-3000. About what? Oh, I didn't know anything about that. What does it mean? Yeah.
Now is your chance to get this first of its kind dual-dated American Silver Eagle in perfect proof 70 ultra cameo condition, like nothing collectors have ever seen. But hurry, pre-sale slots are limited.
Oh, because it's like you're a third-party beneficiary of that, of those documents. What I mean is, yeah. So if you sue that neighbor and win, you get your attorney's fees. You know, I'm telling you, I'm wondering what London's going to say about your case. I'd love to see what he's going to say about your case.
If other lenders say no, John can often say yes. Call John 303-577-7206. 303-577-7206. John Clayton, MLS ID 271003.
As long as just Beth.
Housing opportunity.
Beth was a very successful dentist until her back pain made everyday life impossible. She couldn't sit or drive, and her pain was a 10.
So I ended up selling my dental practice.
There should be something against the law about. Never mind. I should say that. Okay, view message.
The doctor encouraged her to try natural, non-surgical treatments, and that's when she trusted the medical professionals at QC Kinetics.
You're using your own body to heal itself, and there's something to be said for that.
QC Kinetics used Beth's own healing tools in her blood to help relieve the pain that had
Yeah, but I gotta have my.
Beth is able to
sit without pain longer than 10 minutes. Drive my car 30 minutes, an hour without pain. Sit at the dinner table with my husband.
And living the life she thought she'd lost. Get relief and start living again. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics 303-900-8986. That's 303-900-8986. 303-900-8986.
Right now, we can all use some extra cash. So why not visit David Ellis Jewelry to cash in your old useless tangled jewelry, coin, and anything else containing precious.
Hey, D. Are you familiar enough with the studio?
Tom Martino, and I recommend David Ellis Jewelry because I've known David for years. I trust him. You can too. 2640 East 3rd Avenue. 303-322-8779. 322-8779.
Sure, yeah.
This is Sarah Spain.
4 times plus an enhanced. The enhanced photo, that's the best one. Wait, what? Alright.
Just 4 teams make the PWHL postseason, and heading into tonight's games, just 2 points separate the 4th place charge and 5th place sectors. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcasts. Capital One is a founding partner of iHeart Women's Sports Network. Earn unlimited double miles on every purchase with the Capital One Venture X business card. Big purchasing power means you can spend more and earn more. The Capital One Venture X business card. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This hour from the Trajan Wealth K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Hey, I don't give the number out that much, but my God, am I getting text. You know, what is it about the world what is it about the world? Nobody wants to stay on hold anymore. I don't blame you. But listen, I promise you, if you call, you won't be on hold more than a few minutes. 303-713-TALK or 303 Martino. We love talking to you, okay? This is a talk show. By the way, the text number, though, 747-999-5280. You play to your strength, and so many people text. I recently moved out of an apartment back in February, and the reason for my move is because each year I renewed my lease, they would add $100 to my rent. Can an apartment complex do that, especially since it was low-income housing? Well, forget about the low-income housing for a second. What is the rule? Brad O'Brien, O'Brien Legal Services, a real estate attorney. What is the rule, Brad, when it comes to raising rent? Is there a rule?
Well, one rule is the landlord may raise the rent not more than once in any given 12-month period.
Okay, so every 12-month period. And then is there a rule as to how much they can raise it?
No, but it can't be punitive.
Now, that came up the other day. Some guy called and said it was punitive, or no, woman called. She was an attorney, but not out of the bar. She had a JD degree. But she said it was punitive because she had complained about something. And he even said, for that, I'm raising your rent or something. And he didn't put that in writing. But how do you prove something is punitive? That's what I want to know.
Well, that would be under the warranty of habitability statute, where a landlord raises the rent.
As a result of that?
Yeah, in order to get back at the tenant for making a complaint. But that would be that's a fact-intensive thing. You'd have to convince the judge that our rent was $3,000 and the judge and the landlord doubled it, for example. That may be kind of obvious, but a $500 increase on $3,000. I don't know. Right.
It's all facts intensive. Yeah. If, for example, you never had a rent increase for a while and then you complained and got a big one. That seems to me like retaliation would be very difficult to prove.
Yeah. If it went to trial, you'd have to get an appraiser to establish what the market rent is.
So here's the answer then. Can an apartment complex do that? Well, regarding the low income, let's first just take, yes, landlords can do that in general. $100 a year, I don't think would ever be considered retaliatory, especially if they do it every year, right? Now, the question is low income. When we hear low income, there are so many different programs, but I think most people are probably talking Section 8, right? When they say low income, or are there other kinds of subsidy programs? The only subsidy program I know of is Section 8, where they pay a portion of your rent. And you're responsible, depending on your income, up to, I believe, like a certain percentage of your rent. Do you know the rules on raising rent for subsidized housing?
No, I don't.
Neither do I. So if this complex is low income, I'm sure that you're just going to have to contact the authority that rules them. It's usually HUD, but you got to be more specific. I'm going to ask you back, what kind of, I'm just going to ask, what kind of low-income housing? Because really, without knowing that, it could be any number of programs. Okay, the next one, where is it here? All right, 303-713-TALK is our number. Okay, if my neighbor builds a fence 2 feet onto my property, what can I do about it? Can I just remove the fence? We've had this question before. Can you take matter into your own hands? If you're convinced in your mind that that fence is on your property, would that be considered self-help and something you can't do? Do you have to go through a procedure? What would you do to actually get that fence removed?
If somebody trespasses, in theory, you do have the right to remove the trespass, but you are taking a risk that
you're wrong. Maybe
you're wrong. Yeah.
So what? And again, we'll get back to that other one, adverse possession. But so if you have a yard and all of a sudden there's a fence and you're convinced it's on your property, in fact, you can look at your survey or you can do some measurements. And if you're pretty well convinced that it's on your property, as Brad said, If it's on your property, it's not allowed to be there. You can take it down, but you run the risk of destruction. And by the way, I know this for sure. When people were cutting back trees, you can't be destructive about it because you have to do you have to have due diligence not to just destroy something. You have to do the best you can to preserve it. We had a dangerous situation with a tree overhanging somebody's power line and house. They were upset. The neighbor didn't take care of it. They hired a professional service to cut it back, and they took care not to kill the tree. I mean, you can't be reckless about it. Okay. When it comes to adverse possession, I'm trying to find that one right here. So when it comes to adverse possession, what basically are the rules? Can someone truly just own a piece? I don't have it. I'm trying to remember what it said, but can they own a piece of your property? What if the fence has been there? No, that's not it. Oh, wait, this is another one. What if that fence has been there for 20 years? Do they now own the land that the fence encloses? If it was open and never given permission, and they fenced a part of your property, they could probably claim it under adverse possession, right?
Well, in Colorado, we have the 18-year adverse possession statute.
So it is an actual 18-year.
Yes.
So what does it say basically about the 18 years? Does it say it has to be open? It can't be, like, you can't secretly say this is my property. It has to be some kind of an open possession of it.
Yeah, the possession has to be actual, adverse, hostile, under a claim of right. You have to actually think it's your property, exclusive and uninterrupted for the 18 years. Now, I want to say we also have a 20-year statute that applies to farm and ranch land. That's called the fence statute.
What does that say?
That says if you have a fence that the two ranch or farm neighbors acquiesced in for 20 years, then that's the location. That's
going to be it. Doesn't matter where the survey is.
Right.
Okay. So the rule is 18 years. If they openly do it, it's now, there's discussion on what's openly, but putting a fence up and enclosing it would be openly taking your property. And when it says adverse or hostile, it doesn't mean you have to be fighting every day about it. It just means you were never given permission. And again, that brings up an interesting story that happened to me in Parker. Clayton, what's going on with you, Clayton? Welcome to the show. What's happening? Clayton? What's going on?
He just hung up.
Oh, he just hung up. Okay. Okay. We got people. Okay, never mind. Whisper in my ear when someone's on the line so they don't get insulted if they wait 5 seconds. 303-713-8255. More right after this. I can't believe
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver. Denver's talk station. And iHeartRadio.
Yeah, as soon as we turned to put him on, the blinky light stopped. So it's like, all right, you go.
Traffic.
Yeah, we have had a crash on the Boulder Turnpike. It's near Interlochen, and it looks like, well, this is just west, actually, of the Northwest Parkway, but it's the eastbound side of US 36. So they got 2 right lanes blocked. Traffic is tied up quite a ways through the area. It opens up into Broomfield, though. It's still fairly light everywhere else. 270 is running a little on the heavy side. I-25 coming into downtown's a little sluggish also, both directions. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
This report is sponsored by The Rogue Recap with Linda McLaughlin.
Dangerous social media trends, media scandals, dumb TikTok boycotts, and more. Keep up with all the online stories mainstream media ignores by listening to the Brad vs. Everyone podcast on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Okay, so Alliance Roof and Solar is a solar company that does commercial systems. But before you roll your eyes back and say, wait a minute, I don't have a business. If you're a landlord, you can actually put a solar system on your properties, whether it be a duplex, a triplex, a home. You can actually do it. If you're renting, you can actually then sell the power to your tenants as a power company and make money on it. And you can also get the government to pay for most of that solar system with government incentives. Of course, if you have a factory or a warehouse or something commercial, you can do that too. Some even have agribusinesses, or you can do it with with a home-based business if you take the panels and they're not on your actual home. Find out more. Alliance is the expert when it comes to commercial solar systems. 303-704-2449. 303-704-2449. And their website is from their old name, redrocksrs.com. Now, you tell Debbie, I will take Debbie. She's got to wait 2 seconds after I come back on the air. I'm going to say, hi, I'm Tom, and then she'll be on.
We have another caller, so did you want to keep...
Jesus Christ. And Deputy Bo, I know he'll hang.
Yeah, that's fine, Bo. Okay. Okay, sounds good, Bo. Thank you. All right, Debbie, we're going to get your call right after this break. Thank you for holding.
Thank you for doing that.
Of course.
My God.
And the movers even come in, and the movers say they see lots of these floors, so they really liked it and asked us who we use, and I told them we use Galaxy.
We are out of this world. Your financial advisor managing your risk, or just a spreadsheet? Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trading. Many financial advisors rely on target date funds, which are one-size-fits-all portfolios that don't know your name, your family, or your goals. And that passive management can leave you dangerously exposed. At Trajan, we look at the whole picture, not just the stocks everyone else buys, but the private market opportunities most advisors ignore. And as fiduciaries, we build a strategy around you, coordinating your investments, tax strategy, and estate into one cohesive plan. Your financial life deserves more than just a generic portfolio. Real planning isn't a stack of statements. It's the confidence of knowing where your income will come from for the next 30 years. Good enough isn't good enough for your family. It's time for a change. Schedule your complimentary consultation today. Call Trajan today at 720-915-3000. That's 720-915-3000. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, and SEC registered investment funds. Private equity investments require accreditation. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
For plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains, think Plumline Services. With quality brands like Carrier. I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino. I use Plumline in my home. Service professionals, 25 years strong. On a mission of excellence, character, and ethics. Castle Rock to Fort Collins since 1998. Plumline and Carrier. Turn to the experts. No phone call, no hassles. PlumlineServices.com.
Service at home, service at heart, Plumline Services.
Your neighbor Judy loves spring in Colorado, but she hates to paint, so she called Rhino Shield.
After having the house painted with kind of usual house paint, I was seeing cracks appearing about every 3 years and just wasn't very satisfied with that.
Rhino Shield ceramic technology is specifically formulated for our unique climate right here in Colorado, and it's Class 1 fire rated.
I can't speak highly enough about the Rhino Shield crew. They also were great at working with me to get the exact right color because I was very particular.
Right now, Colorado, you can get the 25-year guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
I would not hesitate to call Rhino Shield, and I am just thrilled to recommend Rhino Shield to my friends and neighbors and family.
Here's owner Jim Williams.
This offer is limited, so call me at 844-317-4466. That's 844-31-RHINO or rhinoshieldco.com.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ Bar. That's using the rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at iqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Now you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text radio to 64,000. Text radio to 64,000 to get your 20% off. That's radio.
$64,000.
Keep your retirement money safe at mymoneymyway.com.
630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino here. Welcome. I want to talk to Debbie now. Debbie, she wants to comment on neighbor's property and adverse possession, I think. Go ahead, Debbie. What's going on?
Well, that's exactly it. My grandfather homesteaded over 100 years ago, put in a fence, and it turns out that the fence is on the part of the fence is on the neighbor's property, which was 10 acres. The only problem is the neighbors are the feds. So how does that work with that? It's the U.S. Forest Service.
Oh, wait a minute. I never thought of that. If the neighbor is a government entity, would that change things with adverse possession?
Yeah.
That's a good question, Brad. I don't know the answer to that.
There is no adverse possession against a governmental entity.
Okay, there is no. You never get to own it.
Right.
So he homesteaded. Okay. Here's what I don't understand. When you said homesteaded, no one owned the property he's on right now?
Oh, I don't know. Did the U.S. Forest Service own the land over 100 years ago? It was part of the Western expansion, getting people, out.
Right, right. They
Anyway,
would allow.
yeah,
Didn't it work this way? They allowed people to go out and put a stake in, right? And then they owned a certain amount of land.
Exactly.
Well, by definition,
Usually
homesteading.
160.
By definition, homesteading
Go ahead.
means that if you moved to this land that was eligible under the homesteading program and you lived there for a certain amount of time and met some other criteria, like you might have planted or something over there, right? You gain ownership of it.
Exactly.
So wasn't there any paperwork, any kind of proof that your grandfather, if he truly did homestead rather than just
Didn't they do it where you put your stake? Wasn't there like a certain amount of acreage from that stake?
Yes.
It was pre-designated. Was it a section or a half a section? Was it a half a section? A half a section 160?
Yes, it's 160, but then there's the additional 10 acres. Been paying taxes on the 160, but after being able to learn how to read those crazy legal descriptions, which this one's really insane, found out I actually have 170. The U.S. Actually, it was BLM came out and they were surveying everybody's property in the area, and the guy was really nice, and he says, there's actually a mistake, and it's this 10-acre parcel that my grandfather put a fence around, but it's not part of the legal description.
Yeah, and here's the problem. He is only going to own 160 because that was the increment awarded to people, so he doesn't get an extra 10 just because he put up a fence.
So he squatted on government property.
Now, if it was a neighbor, truly though, if it was a neighbor who also homesteaded, there's a possibility when he fenced that in for 18 years, he would have owned it if it was a regular person. But being the government, Brad O'Brien, you're saying you can't adverse possession a park, for example, or something owned by the government.
That's right.
So, Debbie, I think they're probably right. So where is this property, by the way?
Yeah. It's Pike National Forest down near Pine.
Is it beautiful?
So, of course.
Oh,
of
cool.
course.
Thanks for calling, Debbie. Appreciate it. Having homesteaded properties, I mean, it's amazing what they did to get people to spread out. I mean, it really was pretty amazing. And a lot of people gained their wealth that way. They homesteaded, or they had members of their family homestead, because I think there were some limits put on it. And then they consolidated everything for the family. And that's how you got these big, giant ranches. But as Deputy D said, there were certain conditions when it came to homesteading. Okay, so we have some other stuff to talk about. So with adverse possession, one thing I did want to say about it. I had this happen one time. And I called an attorney who told me what adverse possession was all about. And I had a commercial piece of property, and there was a commercial piece of property next to me. And they actually put a drive-through at the restaurant. It was years and years ago. I think it was a Wendy's. I'm not sure, but I think it was. And they put their drive-through partially on my property. Partially on my property. It was the whole thing.
Just by mistake.
Yeah. But what's weird about it is it was there for years. And the guy told me about adverse possession. And he said, well, are they openly taking it? Blah, blah, blah. And then he proposed doing some legal action. Instead, while I said, I'm going to do something else. And at the time, he thought I was a genius. And I didn't think it was that ingenious. I wrote a letter giving them permission for a certain amount of time. And as soon as I did that, it removed the adverse.
Mm-hmm.
And the attorney said, my God, now you have them talking to you because now they want to buy it. And they said it was amazing. And they didn't want, their attorney said, what is he doing giving permission? It was almost like they had discovered it, but they were kind of going to keep quiet about it. Right? It's almost like that. Then when I discovered it and gave them permission, it screwed up their whole plan. So we ended up them being paid for it. But
in hamburgers?
Yeah. I forget, but I remember this very well because I remember it's a strategy to take the adversity out of it. And they can no longer say that they openly with hostile, they had it and no one protested because I gave permission. And that's a way I think, to stop the clock, in my opinion. I'm not giving legal advice, by the way. It worked for me, but it never went to court. It just worked for me because it made them cave and it made them buy. And besides, the jig was up. I had discovered it. But people, it really is important because things can be taken over if they use it. And I don't know where the 18 years came from. Was the 18 years there for a long time, that rule? Is that an old statute? Do you know? I don't know where they came up with the 18 years.
A lot of Colorado law, real estate law came from Illinois, and then Illinois got them from England.
Really?
Yes.
Why Illinois?
Because it was developed there before Colorado.
Okay.
I don't know.
Wow. Okay. Now, what exactly is an easement? How much can it be limiting to my property? Do I own the property? Do I pay tax on it? So they want to know, what can they do on an easement if there's an easement across the back of their property or the front of their property?
An easement is a right to possess or use a property. It's not an ownership interest in the property.
So you have different kinds of easements, right? Like, in other words, if it's a utility easement, correct me if I'm wrong, it must be used for utilities, right? You can't... You know what I mean? You have to have an easement. The utility would have a utility easement. And who owns that easement? Does you own it? But it's a right for them to go across your property.
Yeah, a utility easement is called easement in gross because the easement is held by somebody who's not connected to the property, as opposed to an easement held by a neighbor, which is called an easement appurtenant because it's appurtenant to their adjoining property. So the utility easement is only for utilities, whereas an easement for the benefit of the neighbor is something that's connected and runs with the land of the neighbor.
Right. So if you give an easement to a neighbor to do something to get to and from, that never becomes their property if an easement is granted because it's no longer adverse, right?
It is a property interest, but it's not a fee simple property interest. It's not a...
Can an easement be taken away? For example, if someone buys a property and there's an easement for the neighbor hasn't granted them an easement, and therefore they don't have to drive around the long way. They have a shorter way into their property. Can the next neighbor who buys that house take away that easement?
Easements can be terminated various ways. First of all, if the easement document has some ways to terminate it, you can do it according to what the document says. You can terminate an easement through adverse possession, 18 years.
Yeah, of course.
So you can actually put a fence across an easement, and 18 years later, it's terminated.
Right.
Yeah.
But if it's an easement that is granted, is it a recorded easement? In other words, if I buy a house and the neighbor says to me, we no longer want you driving back to your house. You got to go around the long way. And I say, but wait a minute, here's an easement. Where is it written that easement is for so many years, or what conditions? Or in other words, is there a contract for that easement? Is it recorded somewhere?
Yeah, the easement document should say whether
how long would that easement document be found is what I'm asking.
Well, it's a document that can be recorded with the county recorder. It doesn't have to be. If it's not recorded, then it's only valid between the two parties.
Okay.
But if
and it can be revoked then if the easement allows for it. I mean, in other words, it can be a renewable easement, right? Like if I'm not sure I want them driving across my property, but I like them, can I grant them a 5-year easement and then take it away after 5 years?
Yes, whoever's granting the easement has the power in the easement document to give the terms for how it can be revoked or terminated. But if they don't do that, then it's pretty much the grantee, the beneficiary of that easement, to then release it or terminate it.
Okay. 303-713-8255. More right after this.
Now, impact traffic.
Yeah, we have had a crash on the Boulder Turnpike. It's near Interlochen, and it looks like, well, this is just west, actually, of the Northwest Parkway, but it's the eastbound side of US 36. So they got 2 right lanes blocked. Traffic is tied up quite a ways through the area. It opens up into Broomfield, though. It's still fairly light everywhere else. 270 is running a little on the heavy side. I-25 coming into downtown's a little sluggish also, both directions. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
This report is sponsored by the Our American Stories podcast.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll share the story of the man many consider to be America's pastor, Billy Graham. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
What I love about Joe Lazzara is that he provides free legal information up front. If you're accused of a crime or charged with anything, including major traffic offenses or DUIs, you get legal advice up front, free of charge. Then what he does is quotes the case if you want him to represent you, but there is no obligation. So you have nothing to lose. Call Joe. He'll talk to you. If you decide to hire him, he will quote a flat rate up front for the entire case. Lazzara, Lazzara, LazzaraLegal.com, 303-429-6200. Hey, if you ever thought about being a landlord, Vestera Turnkey would like to talk to you because they're going to show you the easy way to be a landlord. Now, what they mean is they will help you find a property in a promising market where the equity is strong, the upside for it, the rents are strong, the economy is strong. Vestera Turnkey. And they help you every step of the way, including renting it out, maintaining it, insuring it, managing it, all of those elements. They have affiliations with experts to help you, and they handhold you through the whole thing. MyBiggestReturn.com. MyBiggestReturn.com. Hey, Gravina's has the greatest windows. I should say Gravina's has the greatest selection of windows, 50 lines of windows. You know what an expert Nick is. You know, he took over for his dad took over for his dad. It's a family tradition. In fact, the name's even trademarked to them at 950 West Evans. So if you want Gravina's, you want 303 Gravina. Now they have multiple lines of siding and doors as well. You can beautify your home, add value to your home, and get great prices. 303 Gravina or online at gravinas.com.
generating demand. And right now, he has hundreds of approved home buyers ready to buy. He just doesn't have enough houses. So if you have a house, Troy might have that perfect buyer for you right now. Give him a call, 720-900-4433. Let me give you a story. Just last week, Troy listed a house that was on the market for almost a month. You know what? Troy sold it for full price in less than a week. And if for any reason you need to sell right away, Troy will buy your house for all cash. And he can close in as little as 7 days. Call Troy and get your home sold for the most money. 720-900-4433. Again, that's 720-900-4433. Troy Hansford with RE/MAX Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions apply.
Attention, families of loved ones in
nursing homes, whether past or present. If you believe your loved one suffered abuse or neglect while living in a nursing facility, listen closely. You may be entitled to significant financial compensation. Across the country, nursing homes have been cited for unsafe conditions, understaffing, and failures that put residents at serious risk. Physical abuse, emotional abuse, medical neglect, malnutrition, and unexplained injuries can happen when facilities fail to protect those in their care. If you believe your loved one suffered abuse of any kind while in a nursing home, you may have the right to pursue justice. Speaking up could help protect your loved one and prevent the same harm from happening to others. Call our nursing home abuse helpline now for a free and confidential claim review to see if your case may qualify for substantial compensation. Call now. Time to file may be limited. Call 800-701-2430. That's 800-701-2430. 800-701-2430.
Need a whole house repipe or a water heater? Euro Plumbing delivers the lowest prices in Denver. Hands down. Water heaters installed starting at $14.99. Expert repiping with long-lasting PEX at rock-bottom pricing. Free estimates, no gimmicks, just great service and savings. Euro Plumbing, your low-price leader in Colorado. Call 720-500-3000. 720-500-3000. Or check out EuroPlumbingColorado.com.
Here at the Raleigh House, our team of clinical and medical professionals provide unmatched care for depression, trauma, anxiety, and addiction. Your mental health is important to us. Let us be the place where you reconnect, find your purpose, and heal. If you or someone you love is struggling right now, we promise.
Brad, I'm sorry to tear you away from your work, but ag land is taxed at a very low rate compared to residential. I used to think that you're required to have a certain number of animals to maintain your ag status, but Tom said, no, once ag, it's ag. So if I buy ag land, I don't need to go buy some cows and put them on the land. I'll still be, even though I build a house there, it'll still be taxed as ag.
I don't know the ins and outs of that.
Uh-huh.
I can't tell you you're not subject to being reclassified.
Okay. Guess I'll ask the county then.
Yeah, you might want to talk to the county staff or
The rest of them, it's just been great.
Mornings 6 to 10 on Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. How are you doing today? Well, we got a lot happening here as far as real estate, and we're going to continue our discussion. But I want to make clear, as we're into April and tax day is coming up, there are a lot of IRS scams. I just got a notice from them, and they're calling it the Dirty Dozen Scams. Now, one thing I want to tell you for sure, the IRS will never, ever, this is the first rule, and then we'll go on. They'll never text you, ever. Never in a million years will you be texted. So that's the number one sign. Forget about text. We'll go over more coming up, plus Brad O'Brien and more real estate and consumer news right after this.
If you've ever lost
a piece of mail, yeah.
Okay, I'll turn the
I mean,
it
sucks. I mean, they should get with the times, really. But I mean,
Man, I can't wait for this. If this property works out,
That's not
it's
us.
so beautiful.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah, it's hard with
surrounding
things like
landscape has all
that.
these ravines carved by ancient rivers, and it's
My
like
pleasure,
that
Brian. I'm sorry.
stratified ravine, like at Zion National Park. You see different layers, different colors.
Okay.
There are animals all over the place. They're the not gazelles. What are they called here? Or gazelle.
Where, you want me to turn the mic off if this is private?
It's not private at all.
Where is it?
Elbert County. So
you said
know
that.
county. You know where Kiowa is?
Yeah, of course.
It's just a little bit, maybe.
I developed
10
a
minutes.
subdivision out there or two.
Oh, it's 10 minutes east of Kiowa, off of Highway 86. You know
What's the name of the subdivision?
Oh, I have no clue.
Oh, okay.
You know where that big water tower is that says Kiowa? Do you remember that? So it's about 10 minutes east of that.
How much land?
35 acres.
Oh, nice.
And it's like, sloping and the ravines carved by those rivers. And he says there's a seasonal river that runs through the property. And, antelope. They're called antelope. There are millions of antelope, deer, coyotes, foxes, anything you can imagine. Hopefully squirrels. I saw 2 coyotes driving by there while I was driving. I mean, I was driving by there last week, and I saw 2 coyotes along the road. Beautiful looking animals.
The dirt road up there?
Yeah, like one of those hard-packed, maintained, county-maintained dirt roads.
Do they plow it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a maintained county road. And one of the biggest selling points for me is, he said, the road frontage is only like 30 feet or something like that.
Does it have a street address?
I don't know. We didn't get that far. I mean, we do plan to go out there to take a look at it.
We look it up?
I just don't know the address.
You know the guy's name?
I do know the guy's name. I'm going to write it down for you, so I don't say it on the YouTube.
Yeah.
Starting today, Texans who use the Federal Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program will have to pay cash for their Easter candy. Federal SNAP rules generally allow the purchase.
You'll see there are several properties that he owns. One of them is his ranch where I met him. But the vacant properties is the thing.
At the same time, says Emily Warnsize of Bryan, Texas.
I try and stay away from that stuff. It's not good for my kids.
Later this month, Colorado, Florida.
So I'll invite you out there, you know, and Tom can fly his helicopter out there, get a nice aerial view of the land and the animals.
Can you land this helicopter anywhere?
What's that?
Can you land your helicopter anywhere you want out there?
Anywhere I have permission.
Oh, okay.
You can't go with, you know, you have to have permission. Or it can be public land as long as you're within, it doesn't endanger wildlife, and there's certain rules like horizontal from houses, buildings, all that, open public land, but unless it's restricted.
Oh, okay.
So in general, you know, so big landowners, you can land.
Make a helicopter pad. Yeah.
Well, I'll build one. I'll build a helicopter pad to accommodate a CH-53 Marine One in case the president comes.
Now, technically, if someone was going to have regular use of a helipad, that was restricted by the FAA as far as, but even if you get FAA authority, I got FAA approval one time, but the county turned me down, and they had no reason to. They interpreted it a different way. So you have to have a 2,000, I think it was 2,000 or 2,500 foot clearance. So from the end of the runway, you have to have 2,500 feet of clear. No buildings, no schools, nothing. 2,500 that way. Right? So that's if the runway goes like this. So I had a very short runway for a helicopter, and I had in and out, in and out. They claimed I had to have that 2,500, quarter mile, whatever it was, or half mile, around the whole thing, which is bullshit. Never said that. The law says approach and departure. But the county said, well, you can approach from it. I said, but I won't. The rules are, you know, just like any airport. You have an approach and a departure, period. Or, you know, each one can be an approach, each one can be a departure, but you have two ends. It doesn't mean you come in sideways, but they interpreted it, they said. And I would have to fight him, and it wasn't worth it to me to fight him. So I put this patch in. It was very short because it was for my rotorcraft. And because the FAA approved it, they came out to the site survey and approved it. But the county said you can't do it. And they were just trying to bust my balls because sideways wise, within 2,500 feet, there were some buildings or houses. And so you're not clear. I said, do you realize that there's no one that has 2,500 feet around there? I mean, everything. It's ridiculous.
Troubleshooter Show. Can I get a first name?
But they would have turned it down even with that. I'm sure they would. Even if I.
I got it.
You would have found some excuse.
Yeah.
I think I can start tell. I think I can tell now.
Private aircraft. And I said, well, fuck you.
We don't believe in private aircraft.
They didn't believe it.
Oh God.
Is that ATY?
Nope, you are the only
No,
one.
ATH.
Oh, that's why I couldn't find it. Okay.
But I can see why my H looks like a Y in this case.
Sure will, Bo. All right, hang on.
There we go.
Look, what did you want?
What you found?
Oh, bed bugs.
Yeah, he owns several boxes.
Well, which one is it?
How'd you find it?
Oh,
I had a small business transaction.
is it right next to the town?
No, that's probably. It's got to be one of these. Is there a building over here?
Well, that's west of town.
Oh yeah, that's his house.
Oh,
And this is the properties are east.
it's really far east.
Look at that.
Well, I can find out what the acreage is. So number 2 is going to be.
Keep your retirement money safe at mymoneymyway.com.
Tom, to answer your question, I bought something from some product. And we kind of hit it off. Farmland, ranch land, and all that.
Mr. Mark's blasting Mark Kirkmeyer as, quote, the best candidate for the 90s, unquote, isn't the insult he thinks it is. Joe Autumn stops by to explain, and the senator herself joins me live in studio to respond. Her news happens Wednesday on Live Show Live.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. Come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. Brad O'Brien is with us from OLS Law, or O'Brien Legal Services, and his website is olslaw.com. We're talking real estate or anything on your mind, whether you want to call or text. Calling's easy. Just remember 303 Martino for help, information, and referrals. Whatever you need, we're here to help you at 303 Martino, 303-627-8466. Deputy Bo, he has a question or comment. Go ahead, Bo. What's going on, man?
Okay. Brad, I got a question about a bed bug potential lawsuit. Have you ever... Well, I'll just tell you what's going on. I had a tenant write me a letter yesterday stating that they're going to take me to court for bed bugs that I had in the apartment building. So they hired
but what are they taking you to court for? What damages? What are they saying the bed bugs did?
It's mental anguish. No, they didn't mention that. Just mental anguish, basically.
Mental
anguish. He had emotional and mental health issues.
Did they? Let me ask you something, Bo.
Inconvenience and stress.
Bo, let me ask you something. Did they ever complain about bed bugs while they were there?
Okay, so I have an 8-unit place. So we did have a tenant bring in bed bugs about 6 months ago. Okay, but we got right on it. The guy was a pig. We had to evict him, but we did our due diligence. We did 3 to 4 major treatments of the whole building. The cost was almost $10,000. So we gave notice to the tenants, and we offered this lady that she could break her lease and get out. And when we were treating the building for bed bugs, she refused to let the exterminator come into the apartment to treat for bed bugs. So we did have bed bugs. It was an issue, but we took care of it. Now she hired a law firm. She's suing me for $25,000.
So you have an actual law firm. Did they file a lawsuit, or are they threatening to?
Well, they're threatening, and what kind of concerns me, I'll just tell straight up, they hired that Ramos law firm, which he's basically a contingency lawyer, and they must have bumped it up to the county court because of the amount, but I don't know how she could have suffered this kind of damage. So this is interesting that the property management company wants me to try to give her something, but I wanted to talk to Brad about it. I want to challenge this because we did everything in our power to eradicate the problem, and we did. And then we did offer her to get out of the lease, and she's actually still a tenant in the building.
Wait, she's still a tenant and she's suing you?
Yep. She wants $25,000 to make this lawsuit go away.
Let me ask you this. Is the bed bug problem, is she saying it's persisting?
No, I talked to the other tenants. It's finally eradicated, but it did take several months to get rid of them.
No, I'm asking I'm asking you, does she acknowledge that the problem is now solved?
I haven't personally talked to her, but that's a good question.
Well, what does the letter say? Does the letter say was or is? Is it in the past tense, or are they saying it's persisting?
She says she has suffered discomfort, irritation, redness. I mean, all these little problems, but I do not think it's still persistent with her because we gave her the opportunity to move out and give her deposit back.
Okay, well, I still
see
can't.
What you're saying.
I mean, there's a big difference if she acknowledges that you addressed it and it went away, and now she's suing for past damages, or is she alleging that the damages are still going on?
Well, I don't know how she could allege that they're still going on because it's been eradicated.
And she has a bit of an obligation to mitigate her damages. And if you allowed her to leave, were you going to offer her money to leave, or was she just allowed to leave? Would you, like what?
We were gonna offer her to break the lease and I believe refund her deposit.
Okay,
but she's still there. I mean, she's still a tenant. So it must not be too bad, but I just think it's kind of a bogus lawsuit, and I think I'm just going to write a letter stating we did our due diligence, we eradicated the problem.
Did I hear you correctly, Bo, that you also stated that the tenant said that the fumigators couldn't come into her place?
Dragon, that's correct, because on the second, we did 3 to 4 complete exterminations of the entire building, and she refused to let the exterminators come into her apartment.
And you've got some kind of documentation of that? I mean, I'm not Brad or anything, but that kind of tells me that you've tried and she didn't, so this is kind of all on her at this point.
But see, here's the problem. I mean, they're going to file a lawsuit, and he's going to have to address it. I don't know if they're going to file. I mean, contingency attorneys might think they have a case. Is there any statute they could be suing under that would give attorneys fees?
Not that I'm aware of. It sounds like she's threatening a personal injury claim against.
Yeah.
This is really not a landlord-tenant type of a claim. Under the warranty of habitability, sounds like you acted reasonably under the circumstances because your statutory duty was to take appropriate extermination in response to the infestation of pests, and you did that.
How long did it take you to respond?
To the bed bugs?
Yeah.
As soon as we got a management company got the complaint from the tenant, we started within 5 days.
Yeah,
that
was a reasonable.
It was difficult.
That was a reasonable response, and her response, she did not act reasonably under the circumstances by refusing access to let her unit be treated.
So, was her unit never treated?
Tom, it was not. She would refuse to let the exterminators come in and mitigate it. Yeah. If she even I don't even know if she had them, but the building did have 4 or 5 units were totally infected with the bed bugs.
Well, she's claiming personal injury, then there's a concept called contributory negligence, which is she's part responsible for her own personal injury.
Yeah.
Right. She's saying she physically suffered from the infestation, caused her discomfort, irritation, redness, and bad skin conditions.
But does she have any
And
doctor's
emotional-
bills, any medical bills?
Tom, that's a great point. If I pursue this, I'm going to ask for that.
Well, in
She says she
discovery,
has
your
mental-
attorney would ask for that. I'm hoping that you
Yeah.
wouldn't, that you would defend yourself with an attorney and not try to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not. I'm too busy being a deputy on the show to do this. I just want some advice before I go ahead and get an attorney.
Yeah.
But I believe they are going to start the lawsuit.
Yeah, again,
So,
it's
I
going to
just
be, it sounds to me like a thin case because you acted appropriately. You might even get other residents to say, as soon as you treated their apartments, the problem went away. And then you're going to have a lack of evidence without bills, without documentation of her conditions. I don't see how any judge or jury would ever award her anything. But then again, in Colorado, you never know. I mean, and you just have to get another good attorney to fight it. And I think the type of attorney that fights this is probably another personal injury attorney because they know the tricks.
Right, and Brad is right. This technically isn't a landlord-tenant. It is she's claiming personal injury.
That's right.
And I never really thought of that until you mentioned it. So, okay, I just wanted to bring it up and see how to pursue it.
What a pain in the ass,
I will be
man.
called. Yes, that's why I'm off today. So I'm going to talk to Brad about it after this week in more detail once they serve me the papers.
And again, what you need to I mean, Brad's a real estate attorney. I don't know if this is I don't think he takes this case.
That's true.
I think you need to find an attorney who is used to defending personal injury.
Right.
And
Well, you report it to your insurance carrier, and you might have coverage.
yeah, do you have an
I did that today.
Okay.
Yeah, I did that today, and yeah, I'm not going to capitulate and give her the money. So I'm going to let her start the lawsuit.
Okay, and go ahead.
Yeah, because she wants $25,000.
No, I'm talking. Did you want to say something, Dragon, or somebody, or did I hear you? I thought.
No, I'm good here.
Oh, I thought someone was chiming in. Okay, so here's the bottom line.
Okay.
Your insurance company. That's a good bit of advice. I never thought of that. Who is your insurance carrier?
Oh, you won't like it. It's State Farm.
God. Now, is there a reason you stayed? No, I'm just wondering. Is there a reason you've stayed with State Farm?
They gave me my first car insurance loan when I was 18 years old, Tom.
Wait a
But I'm
minute.
slowly
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You've never shopped them since you were 18 years old. You've had State Farm. Do you know how incredibly bad of a deal you have with any insurance? I can bet you that you're paying probably 35 to 40% more for all of your insurance than you have to pay.
Well, I've been slowly switching stuff over to Jeremy at Compass.
And have you seen that they can save you at every step?
Yep, they've been very helpful, and they're very communicative on the phone. So yeah, I'm slowly switching over.
Well, I don't know why slowly. I don't even understand the concept there. I mean, you either switch or you don't. I don't even. It's foreign to me what you mean slowly. I mean, what I'm saying is, and I say this to a lot of people. I mean, I had one guy say, "Well, I had him for 25 years, and I'm loyal." And I said, "Why are you loyal? Why are you loyal? They're not loyal to you. They drop you if you had 3 claims or 2 claims. They'll drop you. So they're not loyal, and you're suffering what's called the creep up syndrome. I'll guarantee you, over the years, your policy has increased so dramatically because they stick it to people who stick around. They don't reward loyalty. It's the one industry that does not reward loyalty. Thank you, Bo, for calling. But the bottom line, I can't stress this enough. Insurance is the only industry, the only way they make money is by withholding service and withholding payment. by doing a disservice to their policyholders. That's the only way they can make more money. They can't make more money simply being an insurance company. And when, you know, the term adjusters is funny. Adjuster. It's a reducer. That's what it is. It's a reducer. I want to know when an adjuster ever went in and said, you know what? We don't think this is fair. We're going to give you $30,000 more. I'll guarantee you that never happened. And I guarantee you that any company that you have will try to reduce the claim unless it's a superior company. But most of the time, insurance companies, and that includes health insurance. Think about that. The only way they can increase their profits is to decrease their service to their very own customers, for God's sakes. Think about that. I'm Tom Martino. We have more coming up.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She can get a deal. Book telehealth if she feel.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Hey, you know what? You start excellent. You start spelling excellent, right? EXCEL. That's excelroofing.com. And I'm going to tell you something about Excel. You don't pay a cent until you're content. They do roofing and they are the best. No penalty clauses, complete contracts, never collecting any money up front. Now they're expanding their way of doing business into windows, siding, doors, and painting. Full home services, including attic ventilation experts. They can do gutter cleaning starting at $99. They can do gutters and roofing, of course. Whatever you need, they can do, including the siding and the fascia, the soffits, the entire house. You have Excel, where you don't pay a cent until you're content. 303-761-6400.
I don't mean to cut you off, but just so you're not having to repeat yourself to Tom, I'm just going to put some little tiny information in here, and when he calls you, he'll start asking you questions. Does that sound good? Perfect, awesome. And we're on a quick break right now, but in like a minute or two, we'll come back and pick up your call. Sound good?
You should always call the police if you want to know.
Awesome, please hold. Thank you.
Legal injury health podcast from your favorite platform. Most financial advisors only manage your money. They refer you out for taxes. They refer you out for estate planning. They refer you out when things get complicated. Did they really vet that person, or did they meet once, exchange business cards, and call it a partnership? A referral isn't accountability. It's a handoff. When your investments, taxes, and estate plan are built separately, gaps happen, and those can cause.
I didn't even know I had Connected Drive. It says I can renew it. I never even knew I had it. Connected Drive. My God. What is Connected Drive? How much am I paying for it?
Call Trajan Wealth today. Call Trajan today at 720-915-3000. That's 720-915-3000.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Want the absolute best prices on bathroom remodels and walk-in
Connected Services. I subscribed. I'm due April. Okay. And it says, take advantage of Connected Services. Includes traffic camera information, BMW online speech processing. What? Advanced real-time traffic information. You mean that shit didn't come to me free?
Oh, is this your Beamer?
Yeah.
Yeah, they make you subscribe to every little thing in your car. I heard they were going to like make people subscribe to the seat heater.
No, some of them are doing that, aren't they?
Well, they're talking about it.
If available for your vehicle requires a separate purchase.
Why does Progressive help support truckers? Because truckers unite the world. Truckers unite whistles and lifeguards. Truckers unite fitness devices with people who don't exercise. Truckers unite your aunts with those live, laugh, love signs. But truckers can't do
I've never used any of this.
That's why Progressive helps safe truckers save an average of $6,181 when they elect to share their ELD data with us. Get a quote at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company Defense. 2025 National Average Safe Driver Enrollment Discount Savings for new Progressive customers excluding mandatory program participants. Not available in all states. Driving data could increase or decrease premiums at renewal.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQBar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at iqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQBar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Now you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text radio to 64,000. Text radio to 64,000 to get your 20% off. That's radio to 64,000.
I better get back on the real estate stuff here. Hold on, where am I?
In the upper 50s and low 60s. I'm Fox 31, pinpoint weather team meteorologist Kylie Burst.
This report is sponsored by the Our American Stories podcast.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll tell the tale of what happened when 2 U.S. congressmen dueled with rifles. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
This hour from the Trajan Wealth K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors.
TrajanWealth.com. Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. So what's going on in your life? Let's go to the phones. If you have a problem, a question, or complaint, you can give us a call at 303-MARTINO. Ron has a question about Airbnb. Hi, Ron. What's going on with you? What's happening, Ron?
Well, I have a question. I rented a condo in Dillon. I reserved it in November for July. I had reserved it way in advance because I wanted that particular one, and it's got views of the lake and so on and so forth. And at the time, I rented it for 11 days, and the bill was like $3,600, and I paid $1,800 down, and then the other $1,800 would be due.
And when was the period? When is the period? Is it July? Did you say?
Yeah, July 20th through July 31st, so 11 days.
So you're going to go this year in July. It wasn't last year, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Correct.
you rented in November. You basically made a reservation. What's your question?
Okay, so the question is, so the lake is way down with that it's basically on a it's not on a marina, but it's very close to the marina, and I rented it because I want to get a boat and spend time in the marina and so on and so forth. And marina's way down, and so the situation is such to where I don't want it anymore. So I canceled. I tried to cancel, couldn't get the owner to return my text. But I just canceled anyway. And the cancellation clause says that if you cancel later than 48 hours, it's a really quick cancellation. It does have to pay your deposit.
Hold on, Ron. So, Ron, let me get. I want to get this straight again. It's an Airbnb, and you canceled. You could not talk to the guy, but you canceled way in advance, right? When did you actually cancel?
Yesterday.
Okay, what do the terms and conditions say about how much time you have to give when you cancel? Because right now, you're canceling for July. It would seem to me. What are the terms and conditions?
Yeah, unfortunately, it does say that if you cancel after 48 hours, you only get half of your half of the
not
bill.
okay.
Yeah.
I thought maybe if you gave them enough time to re-rent it, but they're saying you only have 48 hours and then you have to pay half. Holy crap! But did you know this going in?
Well, I did, but I didn't. In other words, on the thing, it did say that you would lose half. Now,
how much? Let me ask you this:
and,
how much did you pay at the time you made the reservation?
$1,856.
And so you get half of that back, or did they keep half of what the entire bill would be?
Right, they're keeping half of what the entire bill would be.
Holy
therefore,
crap.
I get no refund.
Wait. So, they're not saying they're keeping half of the 1,800. They're keeping half of the whole thing, 3,600. Holy crap!
Yeah, so they have So they're keeping my whole 1,800 that I paid.
Yeah, I know, because they're saying that's 50% of the bill.
Right. It doesn't, and Tom, I believe that their policy does say what they've done. It just doesn't seem reasonable to me.
Yeah, but
that's
see,
the reason
the
I'm
time
calling
to
you.
question, here's the problem. The time to question reasonableness is before you do it. Now, I know you didn't call to hear this, but what the hell can you do when you agreed to the terms and conditions and now you're saying they don't seem reasonable? Brad, does he have a case? I mean, truly, he knew the terms and conditions. They say if you cancel after 48 hours, we get to keep half of the bill.
I don't know why it wouldn't be enforceable as written.
I mean, if something was unconscionable, that way it would have to be so outrageous. Gosh, Ron. By the way, tell me again why you canceled.
Well, because the marina where we were going to have a boat, not our boat, we were going to rent a boat, is basically closed because of the drought. The lake is way down.
Oh, I get it. Okay. Damn.
So I had family coming out from Seattle, and so we were going to have a big get together. It's my 80th birthday, so that was the main reason that we chose that particular location. But I understand if there's nothing for me to do, there's nothing for me to do. I just didn't know, since the condo is advertised as having great views and so on and so forth, and of course it does not. It does not now, because what used to be a lake with sailboats on it now is a lake that's way down in water with no sailboats on it.
I don't think that's going to be an adequate argument.
Vacation insurance.
Yeah, did you buy insurance? I don't know
No,
if insurance
I didn't.
I don't know if insurance would have covered this. When you made the reservation in November, there was no way of you knowing this was going to be a drought. I'll bet you they get a lot of people not wanting to go. Did you ever consider, Ron, can you take advantage of the 1,800 and go, or is it too late now?
Well, I don't want to go. I have family coming out from Seattle and so on, and I don't want to do it at a place that's undesirable, quite honestly. So I'm actually going to book at a different location. So
wow, I'm sorry about that, man. It's your 80th birthday.
It's gonna be in July 20th.
Well, brother,
but it's
for your
fine. I mean,
80th birthday, just get yourself a rocking chair and a nice blanket, you old fart. Come on, man. God, what are you doing going? What are you doing going out on a boat? Hey, Ron, congratulations on reaching 80. We hope, dear God, yes, you will. And yeah, I'll be there before long. I hope. I've had a lot of health challenges, but I wish you the best. And I'm sorry about that. But man, terms and conditions, truly, people, they're there for a reason. And a lot of people run across this where they basically, they call up and they say, we did not realize they were going to be so strict and they won't give me a break. And that's unfortunately what happens. That's unfortunately what happens. They enforce their terms and conditions. But I didn't know they were so strict. You would think if they gave enough time to re-rent it out, that they may mitigate your loss. But instead, you only have 48 hours to cancel. Wow. By the way, renewhomeinnovations.com, the guaranteed lowest price for your furnace replacement, 303-904-2000. They say if you want an air conditioner, the same thing, the guaranteed lowest price, renewhomeinnovations.com.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver, an iHeart radio station. Ryan Schuling, Tom Martino, Michael Brown Reloaded, and Dan Kaplis. This is Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW. Now, impact traffic.
Clear driving throughout the Denver Metro this afternoon. Pretty quiet for our commuters out there heading into the lunch hours. I-25 north and southbound showing highway speeds through town, as well as up north into the Fort Collins area, down south through Castle Rock to Colorado Springs. Back to town, I-70 east and westbound flowing free to and from DIA. No complaints on Pena in and outbound. And south of there, easy driving 225 north and southbound through Aurora and the Tech Center. With traffic, I'm Mark Swan.
This report is sponsored by the Our American Stories podcast.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll tell the tale of what happened when two U.S. congressmen dueled with rifles. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
Hey, if you're looking for a solar system, Alliance Roof and Solar can show you how to make money with it, especially, of course, if it's a commercial system. That's what they specialize in. So if you're a landlord, many landlords are putting in solar right now, getting it paid for by the government, or at least 70 to 90% of it, and then turning into a mini power company, selling electricity back to tenants, saving tenants money, but making money in addition to rent. It ups your profits on your rentals and helps your renters. They can tell you more about it. Call Alliance Roof and Solar. And if you have any kind of need for a commercial system, they can do it. And there's similar benefits. 303-704-2449. 303-704-2449. RedRocksRS.com. Oh, yeah. 35 acres in Elbert County. If you build a house, it'll change. It'll still be ag, but it'll be. No, you'll still pay. It'll still be ag when you build a house. Yeah. No, but the taxes will go up because the assessed valuation. Yeah. Ag land is going to be low for sure. Ag land with a house, many times what they do is they separate the house and they assess that value more. And then the land, the rest, so you have two valuations really. So, man, I dealt with so much land and houses, God. It's been years. Yeah, subdividing though is not that easy. I mean, well, you have to do, even for 35 acres now, they make you do certain drainage and road permits, and then of course you have to worry about your power and all that. But yeah, you could subdivide. It's not like cost prohibitive. You can make your money back selling the lots. You can do it.
Attention patriotic Americans. To honor the 250th anniversary
So
of American independence, the United States
the idea is to find enough land where you can develop it and get your land free. Yeah, that's one of the ways. What kind of utilities out there? Because you have to figure out the cost of electric and gas, or if they have been gas out there, they may not. But electric to the property? Do you have? Yeah. So I look at it as a target, with the middle being your building table, and then the next one being your septic and well, and then the next one being your access. Then the next one being you want to do, I used to have this target, and one would be like after access, you want to look at assessments for local roads or anything that's going to come. Taxing districts after that, and make sure you don't get stuck with a lot of shit. But then utilities, utilities is one of those rings, because if it becomes cost prohibitive to put in a power line, you have to pay for it. Many times, if there's no development out there, you have to pay for that main line. And then as people sign on to it, they pay you back, but you have to put up the money. So there were times we had to put up $100,000 or more to get power to the subdivision. As we sold off lots and they signed up with a meter, the power company would refund to us, the developer, a certain portion of the line to bring it to the subdivision. But once it gets to the subdivision, you have to distribute the line. Yeah, well, there's only going to be 3. So I'm assuming you would distribute it underground, because that makes it more attractive. Huh? Well, theoretically, he would have problems with mortgages and with also with sometimes the county with water and all that, with power. Many times the off-grid is not allowed, depending on the ordinances, because they don't want a lot of people just building shacks and stuff. But the power, I've always found to be one of the most expensive things. Now, it used to be phones, but nobody cares about phones anymore, so you don't have to worry about that. But we were fortunate enough. I brought power and gas in and paid for that, and then you're not reimbursed for the distribution within your subdivision. You're only reimbursed to the subdivision. So if you have to bring it from here to your subdivision, what you do inside your subdivision, that's all you. They won't take on that cost. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. We started talking a little bit about the IRS scams, and there are a ton of them, but there's the dirty dozen, they call them. One is the IRS impersonation by email or text. So here's the bottom line. They're never going to email you. They're never going to text you. It's that easy. It's that easy. And they're never going to call you. So guys, guess what? The only way they contact you is by U.S. mail. Now, you can contact them by email, and you can contact them by phone. But they do not contact you using those means. So they say don't click on any attachments or anything like that, and you can just discount any text at all. So period. They just don't communicate that way. All IRS impersonation phone calls, again, they don't use robocalls ever. And they may use a spoofed ID that says it is the IRS. And they continue to evolve, but don't fall for that, because they're not going to call you ever. And they will never threaten you, ever. They never tell you what their enforcement action is going to be. So if you get, and even if you were truly talking to the IRS on the phone, if you called them, They will never say to you, if you don't pay, we're going to levy your. They don't do that. They never do that. They take the action by mail. They do not threaten on the phone ever, even if you call them. So never, ever worry about texting, emails, or phone calls, period. The next one. Fraudsters try to tell you that you can get special tax benefits by donating to their charities. And these charities are fake. Now, that's considered a tax scam, according to the IRS, because they're telling you can deduct it and that they're a qualified tax-exempt organization. Now, you can get a list of qualified tax-exempt organizations, okay? There's a way to find that out. But your state has a list of qualified charities usually, and I believe you can find out from the IRS about a 501(c)(3). Misleading tax advice on social media, that goes without saying. All of these viral so-called tax hacks and information given at TikTok and YouTube, be very, very careful. Many of them say you don't have to pay, or you don't have to pay penalties, or you can get by paying pennies on the dollar. Just be really aware of misleading information on social media. They say another one is identity theft involving IRS online access. Criminals attempt to use information from you to get onto your account. You can have an IRS login, but never give that information out. The IRS will never ask ever for any information, anything at all, for your online accounts. Okay, so never ever go to a third party to set up an IRS account for you, because they use it for hacking later on. Also, the IRS identified an abuse of Form 2439, which is, it's a long story, but it has to do with real estate trusts. And they claim you have a refundable credit coming, and they use it to get information from you. So these schemes involved overstated claims of credits or refunds, including claims tied to legitimate organizations. So the IRS says that fake claims are falsely linked to real well-known organizations, and they tell you that you have some kind of a credit or something due to some investment you made, and many people take advantage of it. Self-employment tax credits promotion. This was going on for a while, where scammers use misleading claims about self-employment tax credits, saying that they can get you tax credits, and then they say that they want a portion of what they collect from you for you. But what they do is they make out the form, collect the money from you, but you never get the tax credit. There are all kinds. I'm just saying this. Please don't fall. And then non-cash charitable contribution schemes. If they say to you, listen, you donate property and we're going to give you an exaggerated claim for your property, and you're going to get a refund because of it, don't ever do that. Don't overvalue anything that you, any charity or anyone that says they're going to overvalue anything you donate by means of property. Stay away from them. That is a well-known scam to get property and equipment and all of that. Overstated withholding schemes, where they tell you to fabricate how many people to withhold so you have more money coming back at the end. Listen, all I'm saying is, if you want to find out more, go to irs.gov. They have a list of tax scams. Just search tax scams for 2026. I'm Tom Martino. We have more coming up.
Now, impact traffic.
Clear driving throughout the Denver metro this afternoon. Pretty quiet for our commuters out there heading into the lunch hours. I-25 north and southbound showing highway speeds through town, as well as up north into the Fort Collins area, down south through Castle Rock to Colorado Springs. Back to town, I-70 east and westbound flowing free to and from DIA. No complaints on Pena in and outbound. And south of there, easy driving 225 north and southbound through Aurora and the Tech Center. With traffic, I'm Mark Swan.
This report is sponsored by the Our American Stories podcast.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll share the story of the man many consider to be America's pastor, Billy Graham. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
Fix It 24/7 will come to your home and do an extreme clean, tune, and check of your AC for just $39 if you've never had it done. Why? Because they know they want you to be a customer. And they know if you see the care they take for $39, you'll hire them because they do a refurbishment of your system. They take it apart, they clean every nook and cranny, and they add life and efficiency because dirt and debris are the number one cause of breakdowns. So don't get a costly breakdown. Get your AC ready for the coming heat for just $39. Go to fixmyhome.com. Book now. Fixmyhome.com. Book now. You also get free second opinions. Sheridan Auto Tech. You want to protect yourself. Sheridan Auto Tech will check out a used car for you for just $120. They go through the entire car and the computer to check all the codes. SheridanAutotech.com. Of course, use them for any repair and maintenance of your car. I take my car there instead of the dealer. I've saved a ton of money. You can too. 303-455-7242. They're on Colfax, west of Wadsworth. A great, beautiful facility, plenty of parking and security. 303-455-7242. Gravina's. I love this company because of their heritage, 65 years strong. The name says it all. It's been around for that long, started by Granddad, taken over by his son, and now Nick, the grandson, owns it, and he does a great job. They have 50 lines of windows, multiple lines of siding and doors. You will love Gravina's, not just for their beautiful products, but for the best prices around. 303-GRAVINA, 303-GRAVINA, or gravinas.com. What still runs?
Rhino Shield ceramic technology is specifically formulated for our unique climate right here in Colorado, and it's Class 1 fire rated.
We did the Rhino Shield under the roof line, and I had several French doors, saw the windows, so they did the Rhino Shield and the garage door.
Right now, Colorado, you can get the 25-year guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
I would highly recommend Rhino Shield. It's a very good company. Oh, and neighbors, they were all impressed with it. And I said, well, Rhino Shield, I've got their phone number.
Here's owner Jim Williams.
This offer is limited, so call me at 844-317-4466. That's 844-31-RHINO or rhinoshieldco.com.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Hey, Mama, stop endlessly scrolling to find a caregiver. My trick to saving time and my sanity is SitterCity.com. They've helped busy parents find the perfect sitter for over 20 years, matching you with caregivers who actually fit your needs. I love that all caregivers undergo ID verification and background checks with real parent reviews, so you know they can handle your sassy toddler. Plus, you can always talk to a real-life human if you need help. For a smarter, simpler way to find trustworthy care, visit SitterCity.com.
it's Susie Wargen. Do you use readers or bifocals? You could be a candidate for refractive lens exchange with Cutarelli Vision RLE. Dr. Cutarelli did the surgery on me, life-changing. No readers, no glasses, no contacts, or cataracts. CutarelliVisionRLE.com.
I'm worth more. I'm worth a little more.
You bet I'm worth more.
You know what? You're right. And we want to pay more at Give Me the VIN. Because good cars are worth more. And so are you. For top price, trust, and ease of transaction. GiveMeTheVIN.com.
I got to figure out why I can't get into my cash. Excuse me. I mean, my I can't get into my Capital One account. I just can't do it. Yeah, I mean, it says, "Whoops, we can't." They just. Yeah, I mean, and I have I have my same. Let me just see.
Afternoons 4 to 6. Dan Capless.
Ryan Schuling Live.
That producer here, Ryan Schuling, he does a great show.
Morning 6 to 10.
I got to tell you guys, I love you both.
This is Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. I want to go back to Brad O'Brien Legal Services. Somebody wants to know, is a handshake agreement legally binding? If they came to terms and conditions, the guy changed it when he came back with a contract. Can you be held to? I was told in real estate, it has to be in writing, right?
Oh, in real estate. We have something called the statute of frauds. Contracts concerning real estate have to be in writing in order to be enforceable.
Okay. Someone wants to know if someone, again, this is, thank God for AI, they parse through my emails and texts. If someone receives mail at your house, does that establish any kind of residency?
I mean, that could be a factor, but
it's like evidence, maybe?
That's negligible. I mean, evidence. But
in other words, I wouldn't let people get mail at my house. Let's put it that way. That's one thing for sure. I absolutely wouldn't let them. But, I was told one time, and well, actually not told, this happened one time where a girl picked up a guy at a club. He came home with her. Seriously. He had a package or two delivered there and then never left. He didn't leave for 8 months. This girl had a tough time getting rid of him. And he claimed he lived there. Police wouldn't remove him or anything. And she finally got rid of him. I forget what the hell his name was, but we would update it every few weeks on this poor girl's dilemma, trying to get rid of this guy. Again, under squatters' laws, there would be expedited procedures. Thanks for telling us about that. Is it true that I have to give 24 hours notice before entering a rental property that I own?
No, not necessarily. It's not a strict requirement.
But it can be put.
Not a strict requirement.
Can it be put into a lease?
Yes, you can put it in a lease.
All right. Anyway, we're out of time. I just want to tell you, Brad O'Brien is at 720-370-7388, olslaw.com. And don't forget, 303 Martino for help.